Good morning, everyone. Are we having a wonderful Hall of Fame week so far? I sure hope so. Look at that beautiful mural painted by all of our students. They got to work together and paint that, and I'm pretty sure they did it in record time this year. I think we were like almost done Monday night. So great job to all of our students. Can't wait to see where we're going to hang that one up when it's all said and done. Backlot's looking a little quiet this morning, but that's okay. That just means everybody's headed into sessions, hearing from our great grads. Who have we got outside right now? Say hi. Hey, you walking. I see you. I see you walking. Can you wave? No, I guess not. Well, I'll just hang out here by myself. It's fine. I don't need anybody to wave at me. Oh, hi. Good morning. Is that our social team saying good morning? Make sure you head over to the social booth. Check out, I think they've got some pretty sick swag. Yeah. I'm sure they've got some fun activities for you to do over there. And make sure you're following us on social at Full Sail. All the places you can find us. We are having the best morning here in the studio. Good morning to all of my favorite buddies. We're back. Welcome to day 2 of Hall of Fame Live. I'm your host, Jess Ryder, and I'm so happy you're here to join us for another exciting day of Hall of Fame. Whether you're tuning in because you love professional development, networking, or you just love Full Sail, then you're on the right channel. I'm so excited for another great day featuring more amazing guests, games out at the Creative Experience, and a live look at some of the week's most talked about sessions. Hall of Fame week is my absolute favorite time of year. But if you're not in the loop on what Hall of Fame is all about, that's okay. We made this video just for you. Let's check it out. Hall of Fame week at Full Sail University is back. Students, alumni, faculty, and staff can look forward to a 3-day celebration of all things Full Sail with interactive events, expos, and experiences across our Winter Park campus. Community events throughout the week will keep your creativity flowing. From the Creative Experience and outdoor student stage to the cosplay contest and Hall of Game LAN party, you'll get the chance to display your unique interests, originality, and passion all week long. Live alumni sessions invite you to explore topics across entertainment, media, and technology. Plus, you'll get to ask questions and present your unique perspective while learning from some of Full Sail's most accomplished grads. From meeting employers across media and entertainment at the Career Networking event to testing new tech at the Technology Expo, this is your chance to sharpen your skills. Close out the week at the Block Party featuring live music, incredible giveaways, and more. Worried you'll miss something? Tune into Hall of Fame Live to catch the week's biggest highlights. We'll see you at Hall of Fame week. This year, we're focusing Hall of Fame week on the student experience like never before. You'll have more opportunities to connect with inductees from previous classes and celebrate Hall of Fame your way. Let's take a look at what we've got going on today during Hall of Fame. There's Hall of Fame Live, which you're watching right now. Hall of Game LAN party is going on in Armada HQ from 10 to 5. We've got sessions all day until 5 p.m. Make sure you're going to the sessions. It's the best part of Hall of Fame, in my opinion, after the food trucks. The cosplay contest from 5 to 6. That's going to be awesome. Make sure you cheer on your fellow classmates. Your even faculty and staff can get into the cosplay contest, so be sure to check that out. And then we're going to have a heck of a send-off at the block party tonight from 6 to 9. So make sure you head to the outdoor stage this evening for your chance to win lots of amazing prizes, including, I'm pretty sure, some electric scooters. We got to ask Dr. Dave Franco about that. It's going to be a great, great day. Coming up in this hour, we'll learn about the world of sound effects with David Farmer, team up against Michael LaPlante in the Fruit by the Foot Challenge, learn about Marcella Areca's favorite green flags, and welcome back our buddy Joe Zolo for more student games. It's going to be awesome. Let's get into it. All right. He's an award-winning sound designer and sound editor with more than 2 decades of experience on massive franchises like The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, BioShock, and World of Warcraft. Please welcome to the show Hall of Fame 3 inductee David Farmer. Hi, David. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
You having a good day so far?
Great day.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
great week.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you been back recently?
It's been a while.
Yeah?
It's been 4 or 5 years, I think, since
Oh,
I've been back.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's been a
cool.
while.
Well,
Lots of new faces.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Has anything changed, or does it still feel like the same old place?
It's, well, it's way different than when I was here, but
Yeah.
it feels pretty similar to when I was here last.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Love that. So we're going to play a game that we kind of designed around you.
Okay.
It's called Break It Down.
Okay.
Are you ready to just get right into it?
I guess.
Cool. Okay, let's do it. So back when you were inducted in 2011, our production team went out with you to do a recording inception where they like recorded you recording audio. So you went and recorded some animal sounds at SeaWorld and Gatorland.
Yep.
And you actually kept those recordings, is that right?
I scored.
Okay.
I mean, this was a real win for me. You know, it was
Awesome.
like, I get to go to these amazing places and record what I actually need.
Great.
That give you footage for my induction. So,
Yeah.
it was a total win.
It was a win-win.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
All right, well, we actually have a clip right now from that day of going to shoot B-roll. So
Okay.
we're going to play that real quick. Is that cool?
Where do I see it?
You're going to see on this little TV
Okay,
right
there.
under
Okay,
here. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, so we've got you. Sorry, we're going to do a reset. We had a little technical difficulties. It happens. It's
I think
a
I know
live
the
show.
answer to this one now.
Okay. Well, we're gonna show you the clip from the audio, assuming we get it here up in a second. But in the meantime, can you tell me what have you been up to lately? Any fun projects you can talk about?
I did. I think my last film was How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, cool.
The live action one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I had a bit of a slow year last year, but I was perfectly fine taking some time off.
Okay,
you
cool.
You need a break to reset.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I think
All
we're
good.
ready to show the video. So let's go ahead and see that B-roll from when they filmed with you. So this is at SeaWorld.
Yeah.
So you did keep these sounds.
Yeah. Oh,
Did you,
yeah.
and you ended up using these sounds,
Yeah.
is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have a clip of this sound you recorded and what it was used for. We'll watch it, and then you can kind of explain to me
Sure.
how that happened. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. So where do you get from roller coaster to dragon?
Well, when you're doing something like a dragon flyby, you want it to sort of whoosh by and have a lot of weight to it and stuff like that. But I didn't want it to just be air, like you normally just hear air whoosh bys.
Sure.
So I'm always listening to things, and I go to theme parks a lot.
Yeah.
And I love the sound of roller coasters going by. And I thought, well, that has a certain aggressive quality to it with a natural pass-by sound, with a little bit more going on in it than a normal just air whoosh. So I tried to make Smaug's flybys almost entirely out of roller coaster bys.
Wow.
So that one was definitely a part of that.
Wow,
flyby. Yeah.
how cool. So
I
that
had to
was
get the voices out because all of those had screams in them.
right.
So you have to use RX or something like that to Isotope RX is a spectral repair tool. that
Yeah,
you can
I
take
didn't
certain
know what
things
that
out.
was.
Yeah, sorry, I know. Sometimes I just gloss over terms. But it's a repair tool for audio that you can remove certain things out. So you can go
Cool.
in there and isolate the screams and get rid of
Does
them.
it create like layers of all those things,
No,
or are you actually
no,
having
I'm
to
just
pull
sort
the?
of like painting it out, almost like
Oh,
Photoshop, where
yeah.
you can clone things out. You can sort
Cool.
of remove them, and so I'm left with just the roller coaster going by.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. All right, we're gonna play another one, some more B-roll from that day of shooting pre your induction. Classic log flume
Yep.
sound.
Yep.
And then let's see what you ended up doing with that. And I think this also made it into The Hobbit.
Yep. Yeah, so that splashdown had a great low-end impact and a splash to it. And when Smaug was diving into the coins, you want to hear an impact and also a little bit of a splash. I mean, it's
Yeah.
coin splashing, but it's still a splash. So it's an element of that where he dives into the coins and you sort of hear it.
I love that. You must have like a massive library
Yeah.
of sounds on
Yeah.
hard drives all
Yeah.
over your
Yeah.
place.
It's really hard sometimes to even find what I have.
Okay.
I mean, I try to describe it as well as I can, but it's just so many things that I'll search for explosion and it's like 10,000 records will show up, so you have to try to describe things in a way that will help you find them later.
Right. Why keep your own library versus maybe using audio libraries that already exist?
Well, I don't want my stuff to sound like what everybody else has.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So like the Hobbit sounds are just David Farmer
Yeah,
sounds.
pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I do have commercial libraries
Sure.
as well, but I try not to make that be the focus.
Okay.
I try to bring my own recordings to it to just make sure it's unique.
Great. Okay. Well, I think we've got another one that's going to kind of prove that
Okay.
point even more.
I love how he's like, don't patronize me, at the end of that.
I like how he was just like, yeah, I'm going to show off right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And let's see what you ended up using that audio for. Oh, there you go. That's too cool.
Yeah.
So
The
those were
orcs
goblins and orcs,
The
right?
orcs were made up a lot of pinnipeds and sea lions and seals and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, I guess they just have that like aggressive,
Yeah,
deep,
yeah,
guttural
and it's
sound.
sort of like the same chest cavity size as a human.
Really?
So it really sounds humanoid, I would say. You know what I mean? But not like a human did it. So there were
Okay.
other things in there too. There's dogs, so we try to vary it up. So one might be a sea lion, the other one might be a dog. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
I think we were going for a deeper sound in this next one. So let's check
Okay.
out what animal you found.
All right. That was good stuff. That was good stuff.
Awesome. Now let's
so
see
great.
what you use that one for. Excellent. I guess it tracks. Troll. So cool. That's
Yeah.
just so cool.
It just fit well. I mean, the trolls' heads almost even look like a walrus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just sort of fits them. And I had based this also off of the cave troll from the Fellowship of the Ring.
Right.
So that troll was made out of tigers and walruses
Okay.
and a horse. One thing at a time.
Yeah.
But so throughout the trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy, the trolls all evolved, but they kept some elements that I had used. It started with the cave troll. So yeah.
How important was it for you to kind of keep some consistency there across the two trilogies?
I feel like it's fairly important. I mean, you don't want it to be completely foreign, but you kind of want it to be fresh. So you have new recordings and maybe mix it with a few other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's important to keep that thread going.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. And we've got another one. This one, I think we've got some dolphins. Very unique sound. I feel like I wouldn't know what to use dolphin audio for other than dolphins. So
Right.
I'll be impressed to see what
Right.
this one is. Creepy.
Yeah, it works perfect for the spiders.
Yeah.
Because it's actually dolphins are actually communicating with each other when they're clicking.
Right.
So the spiders need to communicate amongst themselves. So what else would they do, right?
love
mean,
that.
I can't hear anything else there except a dolphin, honestly.
Right, right. And when you're sitting and you've got the footage and we need you to put in a sound effect for this. Where do you start? Is it, I'm just going to go through my library, listen to
Yeah.
sounds?
Well, when I first get the picture, there's no sound.
Right.
So I kind of I had to learn how to just create the soundtrack in my head as I'm watching it down. So a lot of times I will hear it or hear something I think it should sound like.
Okay.
So then I start to look for what I thought I was hearing in my head. So you have to just learn that language of sound and versus picture.
Love that. And you had like a leg up on Trolls because you were like, I did that.
Yes, like, yeah.
We're going to go back to the walrus for that. Yeah, I love that. But I will say the job isn't always fun and cute animals and easy recording. It can be a little more complicated than that. So we actually put together a little package here called Perils of the Job. So we're going to play that real quick. Oh. All right, I don't know if you remember this guy, Chester.
I do. Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Chester.
Well, he was just this big alligator that we were trying to get him to hiss or growl. And he's not going to growl. That's not what they would do. So, yeah.
Okay.
He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
And this guy was like, go ahead, get closer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I remember this.
What happened
very
here?
Well. He kind of destroyed my recorder.
No,
with a splash.
really?
Yeah. He kicked water out a little bit, and it got into my recorder controls, and it froze it up.
Oh, wow.
So I lost this recorder for the rest of the day. Fortunately, it wasn't permanent.
Okay.
But I couldn't use that recorder for the rest of the day. But fortunately, I had a backup. I had a little portable handheld recorder with me.
Oh, and you ended up making it work.
That one survived. My expensive one bit the dust for a while, but my little cheap one, small one, worked. So I used that for the rest of the day, and a lot of the recordings I used in the films were with that little one.
Yeah.
So I would say, don't obsess about the gear having to be perfect, because these little ones, they sound really good.
Yeah.
So, and take a backup.
Always take a backup, right?
And that was a case in point right there.
And maybe even a backup of your backup, just in case.
Yeah, because they're small and cheap.
Any other crazy things ever happened to you while you're filming, or?
Yeah, I'm sure they have been, but probably the most dangerous thing I've ever done was really dumb. I was in the Pittsburgh airport, and I talked, and there's a tram that goes underneath the ground between terminals, and I talked a couple of the security guys into letting me stand out on the platform to record the thing going by, without realizing that those things push this massive wall of air down. So that could have been my last job. That could have been the last thing I ever did, but fortunately it didn't blow me off the wall.
Okay, I was going to say, and that's how David Farmer got on the no-fly list.
The recording wasn't even very good because it was just all air.
Really? So all that for nothing,
all
really?
All that danger for absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Just like Jester.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, David.
Thanks for having me.
If you see David on campus, make sure you say hello. Ask him about sound effects.
Yeah, please do. That's all I know about.
Well, thank you so much, David. Now let's take a trip back to Hall of Fame 3 to learn a little bit more about what got Dave inducted.
I remember the very first sound effect I put into a show was just a door close on this TV show called Silk Stockings. And they were mixing it, and they needed to replace the car door closing. And I was all happy, and I went to the sync library, I went to look through the library of the effects, and came up with one, put it in the sync, and they put it in the show, and I was just like, wow, this is my first sound effect ever. Over the past 10 years or so, my sort of specialty has been in creature design. Things that you can't go record. You can't go record a dragon, so you have to make that out of a real animal. So you have to go out in the field and record the animal, or a series of animals that you can layer together to create the dragon, or whatever that might be. A couple of the creatures that I've made that people might recognize are the cave troll from Fellowship of the Ring, and also the Balrog from Fellowship of the Ring, and the ring wraiths from, all of the Rings films. The Balrog in particular was a favorite of mine from the book. The things that went into making the Balrog were a lot of dragging a concrete block along a hollow piece of plywood that was in a Foley room that had a hollow space underneath it, so that gave it a lot of resonance. Mixing that with slowed down lions, we actually recorded a lot of lions re-recorded in the Wright's tunnels, which are in New Zealand. So we took those and played them back over some speakers and re-recorded those in the space, and it just created another voice to the creature already. One of my favorite things about this job is going out and recording strange things, because you never know what you're going to get. The one way to make sure that you're delivering a sound that nobody's heard before, even if it's the same thing that somebody else has recorded, say a tiger or a lion, the fact that I have my own set that nobody else has means that something about that's going to be different. I'm always listening. That's sort of a curse. You go to a hotel and you'd be like, oh, that's an awesome toilet flush. I got to record that. You know, hotel rooms are actually strange places to find cool things. One of the elements of Freddy Krueger's knives was an ironing board that I just closed up at the hotel I was staying at when I was working in LA. And it closed the thing up and it was just this ancient, screechy thing. So you wind up finding sounds everywhere. It still affects me like it did when I started. You know, things may be a little harder to please me, you know, because these days it's a car door closed and really going to float my boat. So when I have a good day and come up with something really creative, it's very fulfilling.
Hall of Fame Week's annual cosplay contest is a chance for students to display their unique interests, creativity, and originality to the Full Sail community. The contest, hosted by our campus cosplay club, invites students to strut their best looks across the outdoor stage in front of a panel of judges, all in hopes of being awarded Best Cosplay in categories including video games, film and television, anime, and more. Be sure to check it out during the week.
Look at that beautiful student stage. That's where the cosplay contest will be happening later, so make sure you head over and get a good spot. Plus, the block party will be there tonight. I know you don't want to miss that. Amazing giveaways, free pizza, a ton of music, just hanging out. It's going to be a great time, so make sure you stop by the student stage tonight for cosplay, followed by the block party. With nearly 17 years of experience in the technology sector, he's the Senior Vice President of Information Security and Operations with Proforma. Please welcome Hall of Fame 14 inductee Michael Plant.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me today.
Oh, hey Michael, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very good, very good. It's Hall of Fame week. Can't be better, right?
Good. Yeah. What kind of surprises do we have today for everybody?
Hopefully some good prizes for our students.
Prizes
playing games.
is always good.
Yeah, you and I exempt from the prizes, but that's okay.
That's all right.
We get to spend time together. That's
the prize is being with you.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. I love that. Thank you. So what have you been up to this week? What's been going on?
So I've been talking to the students a lot. Today we're going to talk a little bit about security later today. Cool. We're going to get to build our first website later today. And a lot of the conversations I've had with students is around AI and how they can utilize it. So it's been a really good week.
And you're a pro AI?
So...
Is that a loaded question?
That's a loaded question. If you had asked me that a year ago, I would not have been.
Okay.
Now I am pro AI with its nuances.
Yes, for sure. It's a helpful tool.
I've used it to gain time back in my life, which is fantastic. Yeah. But I've also watched it give some really bad results, and it's almost funny at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Love that. Well, we're going to play a game with some students outside. Does that sound cool?
That sounds great. Let's do it.
Awesome. I love it. The game is called the Fruit by the Foot Challenge, and the rules are pretty simple. We have 6 students in our first round. We'll have another 6 students in our second round.
Got it.
12 students altogether. They are going to eat a fruit roll-up that's unraveled, no hands, and whoever eats the fruit roll-up the fruit by the foot, they're similar but different. Fruit by the foot, whoever eats it the fastest is the winner. We'll do another round, and then we'll go into a final round. So let's hope nobody gets sick with all that sugar in 85-degree weather. I think it's all strawberry.
Oh, strawberry's good flavor.
Did y'all get to pick your flavor? No? No.
It all looks like strawberry, so. All right, let's do it.
All right. So, yeah, our final round, it will determine our champion. They'll get a prize. It'll be awesome. Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. Let's play. Go ahead and count them in, Michael.
All right, let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, eat.
All right, let's see who's in the lead. Red shirt, I actually can't tell because the shirt is so red. Yeah,
he's got the move though. He's up and down and up and down. He's got it. Oh, whoa. I think he's good. Yeah, see
Red shirt is our first winner.
Oh, he was running out.
Okay, our first 3 finishers. Good job, everybody else. Good try. I'm not envious of you. I don't think I want to do that one.
Oh, I was gonna go home and do it with my son. see who can win.
See who can win. I like that. Is he a big fruit by the?
No, he doesn't get a lot of sugar, so he's got to wait a few years. But we'll get there.
You're like cutting that apple juice with a ton of water. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So we have our players out there resetting. In the meantime, any advice you have for any of our students on campus? How to come talk to you or talk to some of the other grads?
Just go up and introduce yourselves. Yeah. We're all here because we want to talk with you. Yesterday I grabbed lunch and I just randomly plopped my butt next to a couple students that were sitting at a table and they had no clue and they didn't take advantage of the opportunity. So you never know who you could be sitting next to. So make sure you're always chatting it up, talking about what business you may be wanting to make or what degree program you're in, or always be networking.
Yeah, I'll always be networking. We need a shirt that says that so bad. Always be networking. All right. It looks like our final 3 are ready to face off for the finals to see who wins the big prize. So once again, Michael, please count them in.
All right, we're starting from 3 this time. 3, 2, 1, eat. All right,
Red
see,
shirt.
he's
He really
sticking with the same method.
Yeah.
I like it, yeah. It didn't fail him last time. I feel like he's even quicker this time. Yep, he's perfected it.
Has he done this before?
I think he came prepared.
All right, let's see what our winner gets. Our first place winner got a pair of AirPods. Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Way to go, buddy.
Hall of Fame. What you got? You're going to listen to some music, and we got swag for our runners-up, some Hall of Fame shirts, some sunglasses. Keep that bright sun out of your eyes. Wow. Was eating 2 fruit roll-ups really fast worth the AirPods, man? Yeah?
I think he's pretty happy with it.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, super worth it. Awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your Hall of Fame week. Thanks for playing. Wow.
Thanks, everybody. Have fun.
Awesome, Michael. It's always so much fun having you here on the show. Thanks for coming.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's always fun to be here.
Yeah, you're one of our favorite guests. Don't tell the other ones.
I won't tell them.
All right. Well, I'm craving something sugary now. So while I run to the food trucks for a sweet treat, let's learn a little bit more about Michael in this video.
Awesome.
When I was young, this was the technology. There wasn't the internet to tell you how to build a computer, so it was very much I'd get a computer, it would come home, I'd take something out of it. That's where the curiosity was from. You just unplug something, see if it would break. If it did, you knew what the part was connected to, and then you knew how to fix it. Growing up, my mom was a computer teacher. I was always interested in what she was doing. Every summer I got to play around with her. They'd network the school. All of that kind of molded me, and I feel like I was destined for technology. When I came to BTS, we ended up meeting Bill Bain, and he told us about this new degree called web development that was coming out, and I just fell in love, and that moment I was like, I'm doing web dev. It's funny to look back at this photo of me, younger me. The kid in this photo had no clue what he'd do. And this is just one of those keepsakes I've always had around my desk, just hanging out. I'm always gonna be a student. You're always gonna have to be learning. So it's that reminder that, hey, you're a student still, you gotta keep learning this stuff. I'm not the person that can just pick up a book and I'm suddenly the subject matter expert. It takes me a little bit of time to learn, but putting in that effort brings value, and one of the best ways to know if you know something is to help teach other people, which is why I'm so passionate about what's going on at the school. I get to talk to the students. I get to see them grow. One of the cool things that we've done at other Hall of Fames in the past is we have these networking events where you get to kind of have one-on-one time with certain select students. And I don't know if they still follow what I'm doing in my career. Every single one of them, I follow their careers. I see what they're doing. I check in with them a few times a year. Like, that's important to me. As Vice President of Technology at Proforma, I'm responsible for leading the application development team. So we have a piece of technology software. There's about 50 software engineers, and we build that technology that all of the franchises at Proforma use. One of the reasons I love what I do, not only because I help my team grow, but I see the direct impact of what we do and how it makes people successful in their careers. Technology touches everything. So now it's seeing the impact that I make, the work that I do, being very intentional about it. I think family is important to me because at the end of the day, they're the only ones that are going to be there through you, through the good times and the bad. Catherine is the first person to always say yes. Early in our relationship, I'd come home and I worked for some companies that I couldn't talk about. So I'd come home and it'd be, "How's your day?" I'd say, "Great." And she'd say the same thing. We work at the same company now, so we get to talk about the same problems. We get to solve them together. She pushes me because she sees the passion I come back with, especially when I come back to Full Sail. I come back so enthused and jazzed and new ideas and new things I want to try, and that's the stuff that's important to me currently in my career and will be for the rest of my career.
Hall of Fame companion app keeps students, faculty, staff, and grads up to date on all things happening during Hall of Fame week. Track presentation schedules, learn more about returning alumni, and keep up with special events happening across campus. Online students are welcome to come to campus and experience Hall of Fame week alongside the Full Sail community. Campus students are required to attend, so be sure to check in daily at the designated check-in locations.
Make sure you download the app so you can keep up with everything happening this week. Coming up in our next segment, we'll play a game of Flagged with Hall of Fame 4 inductee Marcella Areca. But first, show me how your Hall of Fame week is going. Be sure to use the hashtag fullsailhof throughout the week and share your Hall of Fame experience. And don't forget to connect with us on social and follow along at Full Sail on Instagram, TikTok, X, and anywhere else you like to doom scroll. Look at our social wall. Look at our students having a great time this week out on the student stage. It's been such a blast. I want to see what you're doing. If you want to see your posts on Hall of Fame Live, use the hashtag, tag us on social, or scan the QR code to share your Hof Week. While I go add Full Sail Hof posts to my Instagram, let's check in with our on-location host, Jessica. This Hall of Fame week, the gaming community is taking over Armada HQ with Hall of Game LAN Party. From casual competition and shared play to discovering student-created games and connecting with fellow gamers, grads, and faculty, the 3-day takeover brings classic LAN energy to the Full Sail community. Drop in, squat up, and see what Hall of Game is all about. Oh, there it is. We're having a day. Hey, what's going on? It's your girl, Jessica. I'm here in Building 3 at Armada HQ. They've got so much amazing stuff happening this week. It's called Hall of Game LAN Party, and it's happening Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Are you kidding me? 3 days of gaming in Armada HQ? Let's go check it out. Did you know that you can come into Armada HQ and play Throwback Highlight? Yeah, you can. Karis Baker, you know her? She's a Hall of Fame inductee. This is her arcade cabinet. How cool. So come in and check it out. Armada students don't just play the games, they also cast the games. You can come here and see our students in real time covering what's happening in a tournament or in regular gameplay. So yeah, come check it out for sure. We've got so much amazing stuff here in Armada HQ. You can hop on a PC and play a game. You can come into the console room, hop on the couch with your friends, do some couch co-op, or you can just hang out, enjoy the energy, and make some new friends. We definitely hope to see you here at Armada HQ. I'm gonna stay here and game all day. You may not see me again. Send it back to Jess in the studio. Hi. She thinks she's coming for my job. She's not. My next guest is an audio engineer who has worked on projects with legendary artists across genres, including Britney Spears, Duran Duran, and Missy Elliott, to name a few. She is the co-founder of a record label and a premier Miami recording studio. Please welcome to the show Hall of Fame 4 inductee Marcela Areca.
Well, hello.
Hi, Marcela. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Having a good week so far?
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, fun. Just, I love coming back, seeing the students, new and old,
Love that.
So, yeah.
Have you been over to Feedback Loop to hang out with Leslie and Tremaine?
So I tried. Yesterday, I just stopped by twice, and both times they were on their break. But today will be the day.
Yes,
Yes,
today will be the day.
I will come by for sure.
And do you really enjoy doing that, being able to give feedback on the spot to students like that?
1,000%. It's like it's definitely like my vibe. I love being able to just kind of give them a little bit of, like I said, it's called feedback, right?
Yeah.
So just giving them feedback so they can take it back and just kind of apply it and better their mixes, better their songs, and just better their knowledge so they can achieve something that is great.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I always have guests on the show. We do segments. I do a little research before. You have something I'm very envious of, which is like internet and like no one, like you're hard to find.
Oh.
You're hard to find.
Am I?
Yes. I can only find out things about you that are like super public facing.
Okay.
So I just wanted to know anything new and exciting going on in life, professionally, that you want to talk about?
Life and professionally, let's see. I am just always evolving and working and, just making sure that I'm on, got everything on my finger on the pulse, right? Yeah. But there's just always new things, new artists that I'm working with and producers. So it's just constant for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that answer. It's like, doesn't give anything away. The NDAs are real. Okay. All right. So, Marcela, we've prepared a little game. It's called Flagged.
Okay.
The premise is pretty simple. I'm going to read you a scenario that connects to professionalism in some way. As I'm reading, feel free to raise the red flag or the green flag based on what you're hearing.
Okay.
Sounds pretty good, right?
Yep.
Sounds pretty simple.
Easy.
Cool. All right.
do it.
Well, let's do our first scenario.
Okay.
Okay. You go to a lecture in your area featuring a professional you really admire. You connect with them after the lecture, and you keep in touch over time after adding each other on LinkedIn and exchanging emails. You routinely share your progress, you ask for feedback, and ask questions to help hone your craft. Red flag or green flag?
No, that's a total green flag.
Yes.
Yes. Green flag.
So what's your preferred way to be communicated with at an event somebody really wants to talk to you and connect?
Well, I always just tell them it's either by email. I either give them my email. Just depends on, the conversation that I'm having with that particular student. I feel like if it just needs, okay, you know what, we're going down something. Let's just hit me up on email. That's totally fine. But I also just even DMs. I answer my DMs and I respond to them. So both ways work totally fine. And if I feel like we're diving in a little bit more deeper, then I share more of the the personal emails and stuff like that for sure.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So if a student wants to know they shouldn't be afraid to come up to you and ask a question at least.
No, that's what we're here for. That's listen, if hitting me up on Instagram or socials or even email is one thing, but if you get me in person, you better, shoot your shot.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, professionally.
Yes. Okay, here's our next scenario.
Yes.
You've been trying to make it in the industry for months, and you finally get your big break. It's a dream job, and things are going great. Except a few weeks in, you make a huge mistake. You go home, you cry a bunch, and you decide all of your hard work was for nothing, and you should just find a new dream. Red flag or green flag?
Total red flag.
Yeah, big time red flag.
I think students need to know that when you start anything, you're going to make mistakes. That's kind of part of the process. I made millions of mistakes. I blew speakers. I did some stuff. Okay. But I think when you're starting out, you definitely want to put your best foot forward and just shine. But I also do know that employers do know that we're not perfect. We're humans, and, as long as you're not lighting the place on fire, and then you're not, tearing the place down, mistakes will be made and it's totally fine. And I don't think being so hard on yourself is ever the route that you should go. You should take that as all right, I could have, I learned from that and, now you take that and you move forward. But Yeah,
Give
don't.
yourself some grace, right?
1,000% give yourself grace. You're not going to be perfect. We are students that go out into the real world. And like I said, when I started off as an intern and even started making my way up as like an assistant and even engineering, like everybody knows the big story that I have with Missy Elliott, where I started recording her and I was terrible. I was horrible. I didn't know how to run Pro Tools right, so she kicked me out the room. Now that I like, oh my gosh, that's it. But I definitely had one of those moments that I had to be like, no, you know what? I'm now going to learn this DAW, the best, like through and through. And the next time if I had that opportunity, I would show out, and I did.
There
So
you go.
yeah.
If you'd given up, you wouldn't be sitting here right now.
I would
right?
not be sitting here.
Yeah.
I would not have gotten my Hall of Fame.
Okay, here's another scenario. You're a woman in a male-dominated field. In a meeting, you notice your idea gets talked over or credited to someone else. Instead of shrinking back, you calmly speak up, clarify your contribution, and continue advocating for the idea while staying focused on the project. Red flag or green flag?
Oh no, it's a total green flag.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you definitely have to speak up. Closed mouths don't get fed. At the end of the day, you have to advocate for yourself because no one else will. You might have somebody that kind of stands up for you alongside, but if you're not doing it first, you're still going to look like the little mouse in the corner. Yeah. You want to make sure that you're standing on your own 2 feet, stand strong, stand firm. Don't be rude, be professional about certain things. A lot of times what I realize is it's not purposeful. Like people are not they're not out to like scheme against you. It's just like an overlook. It's an oversight. And once they realize it, it's usually corrected and people apologize and we move forward and they won't forget you after that.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And you had a panel, I don't know if you had it today or yesterday, that was kind of on this topic of like women in the workplace.
Women in the industry. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it was a great panel. The room was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was definitely a lot of words of encouragement and just letting the girls know, like, listen, like, do we have it harder? Yes, but is it something that's going to, stop you or just hold you back? No, you just got to keep, putting your best foot forward. Be in the position where people can trust you, that you can do the job, and like little by little, you will see those barriers start to go down.
Yeah, I love that. Sometimes you just got to show people what you're capable of.
1,000%.
Let them make whatever inferences they want to make, and you just keep moving.
Yeah.
Okay, this is our last scenario.
Okay.
You're on a job with a celebrity. You definitely signed some stuff when you took the gig, but you weren't reading it. I mean, celebrity. You asked for a selfie with the celeb at a moment when you should have been working, and you're taking endless videos using Snapchat filters and posting them to every platform. Red flag or green flag?
Total red flag. We don't do that.
You've worked with some huge names.
I've worked with some huge names, and no, we don't do that. Listen, in the music business, these celebrities, artists, whatever you want to call them, right? They go, the studio is sort of like their safe haven. They want to go there. This is like their office. They want to feel like, they're human like you and I. Yes, outside of that, like outside of the gates or those doors, they have to deal with so much in the real world. So the last thing they want is to be videotaped from the side and just get, their privacy infiltrated. So you give them that, that sense of just space of protection. You protect them and you just let that the don't kill the vibe of creativity. That is the number one way to kill the vibe of creativity.
Really? Yeah. That'll change the shit. That'll shift the mood.
Yeah. I think what I will say is this, after a session is done, maybe you guys have been in for a couple days, maybe it's been weeks, maybe it's even been one day, but read the room, feel it out, because there might be an opportunity and they're okay with that. But all that I'm just going to start recording you from the side, that's never ever do that. But I think at the very end of the session, right when they're saying, that there might be a window, but as it also depends, who you are in the room.
Right.
Right.
If you're like the PA,
maybe
keep
right.
to yourself.
Right. But sometimes it might be the person, the producer in the room, and you might have a certain friendship relationship with them, and they kind of know, so they'll set it up and let them be the one to set it up.
Yeah.
Don't be the one to be like, oh, excuse me. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
Love that. Well, that was so informative. I definitely know how to carry myself professionally now. I hope everybody was taking notes.
Yeah.
And if you see Marcella on campus, make sure you say what's up, ask her your questions.
Yes, or just hit me up on Instagram.
There you go. Yeah,
yes.
She responds to her DM.
Yes, incredible logo. So hit me up.
Awesome. Well, let's learn a little bit about Marcella in this video.
Music has always been something that I've always loved, and early on I started getting into like choir and singing, and I did some performances when I was younger, but that didn't last long because I never got used to the stage. The fright never left. Prior to graduation, I knew exactly where I wanted to work. I knew I wanted to stay in Miami, which is my hometown, and I knew it was the hit factory that I wanted to be at. So I called up the studio manager here, Trevor Fletcher, and I said, I'll be graduating in a month or less than a month, and if you have any positions open, I would love to work. I sent my resume in. He called probably a few days after I graduated for the interview, and I thought I completely bombed it because I was so nervous. I was like sweating in it, I was stuttering, and I didn't know what to do, and I was like, this guy looked at me like a complete crazy woman, and I left, and literally I got the call 2 days later that I got the job. I've worked with Timberland, to Danger, to Britney Spears, Madonna, Usher, you name it. I think I might have touched a record or two. I don't have anything whimsical that I do. It's just, I just find comfort. I need to be comfortable when I work, have to have my pair of socks and some Twizzlers and some wine, if that, and I'm good. And the temperature has to be right. I like a warm room. I don't like to freeze, and these studios, they'll freeze you. I look at what I do is everything that I'm doing, it's always going to be around. Almost like I have a place in history because it's music, and there's, you can always trace back to it. Like, I think when I get older and I'm like 60 or 70 and like my kids or grandkids or, when they want to hear or I'm playing my own records, like I think that's when I'm probably going to be like, oh my gosh, I worked on this. I really live day by day. Every day I wake up and I thank God, and I'm very blessed, and I have this record label now, and I really want to, I believe in my artists, and, I believe in what we're doing, and, just continuing to be in the studio and, just making records. Like, that's just what I love to do. I don't think I can find the words to really explain it, except just music is love. And in turn, I love it. Like, I love to do what I do because it's music, and music makes the world go around. That's my philosophy. Like, can you imagine a world without music? It would sound just like that.
Hey everybody, how's it going? We're still hanging out here in the studio, and we just want to give a special thank you to all of our incredible sponsors during Hall of Fame Week. You really make all of this possible for our students. Thanks so much to Adobe, Apple, Avid, Focusrite, Sennheiser, Shure, Sony, CDW, and all of our other incredible sponsors. We really couldn't make this week possible without you. My buddy Joe Zolo is back. As a show caller for the Savannah Bananas, Joe is no stranger to playing games outside in the sweltering heat. So he's outside today with our students. The game is called Dizzy Duel, and here's how it works. Our two student competitors will spin around with their foreheads on a bat until Joe tells them to stop. And then they duel. The first person to land a hit wins. All right, Joe, I'll let you take it from here with your incredible pantomime skills. Let's see. We're gonna make him dizzy. That guy's not spinning the bat. He's just. Oh, it's like dodgeball. Okay. He threw the bat. I don't think he's dizzy enough, to be fair. I think my buddy here has to get a little dizzier. What do you say, Joe? Make him spin again. Keep spinning. Spin again. Spin again. That guy's really good at dodging the dodgeball. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Yeah, let's spin again. I want to see people like wobbly dizzy. I want someone to fall into a bush. That's what I was hoping for. Whoa. Does this other kid get to throw the ball, or is he just going to get attacked? Oh, so close. So close. This is We'll talk about being in Banana Land. That was bananas. Thanks, Joe. What do our winners get? Oh my goodness, a hat? A Savannah Bananas hat? Show me. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm jealous. Can I get one? Joe, did you bring me one? Joe, I really hope you brought me a hat. Awesome. Thanks to our students for playing Dizzy Duel. I hope you're not going to fall over. I know it's hot out there, so go drink some water now. Right now, go drink some water, please. All right, congrats to our student winners. Now, let's check out this video featuring Hall of Fame inductee Natalie Asport.
Hi, I'm Natalie Asport, and I'm a professional artist. Okay. Ooh, my favorite horror movie villain is Freddy Krueger because he shows up in your dreams and you can't escape your dreams. And he has awesome weapon, claws for fingers. I realized I could work in video games in high school when I was playing Uncharted 2 and I saw some behind the scenes, man, this is difficult. Okay, I saw some behind the scenes footage of the development of the game and I realized that people make the game. It requires a team of artists and designers and programmers and writers. I feel like this might be really tiny.
You sure about that?
What I'm most excited about for Hall of Fame week is actually the panels. I know I'm probably not gonna be able to see it, a lot of the panels, but it was one of my favorite things whenever I attended Hall of Fame. And also just hanging out with all the inductees and grads and students to just talk with everyone and hear stories and listen to people talk about where they are in their journey. I definitely did not plan this out. This is so bad. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a collector of many things. I do have a video game collection. I also have a guitar collection, and I collect not just guitars to be played, but guitar magnets. I have guitar air fresheners, guitar spatulas, guitar-shaped tequila bottles, you name it. All right, I think I actually don't know where I'm drawing. I'm just gonna make it worse. I think I'm done. Oh my God, I figured it was a mess. This is a Nintendo Switch. You can't tell? It's right there. You see the two consoles, you know, the directional pad. This is exactly what you would play Mario Kart on. Round 2. Ooh, okay. I've drawn this enough. Let's see if I could.
Head to the backlot during Hall of Fame week for the Creative Experience, an interactive showcase celebrating the ingenuity and imagination of the Full Sail community. On the student stage, musicians, poets, and more step into the spotlight, while interactive games, club booths, and a community art wall invite students to express their creativity all week long. Whether you're performing, creating, or exploring, this is your chance to dive in and join the celebration.
after a week packed with professional development, new creative experiences, and networking, don't miss your chance to unwind at the Student Block Party. Featuring live performances, guest appearances, free food, and some incredible giveaways, this high-energy celebration brings the Full Sail community together for one unforgettable night. And it's one that you don't want to miss.
Hi, I'm Natalie Asport, and I'm a professional artist. Oh, okay. I've drawn this enough. Let's see if I can. If I were to describe my job to a grandparent, I would say that I make video games, and they would be like, what is that? And I would be like, well, check out this, this remote control that you've seen me play things on. It's not the computer, but it's connected to the TV. And after that, honestly, I don't know how I would be able to describe it. I make that. Which video game has a special place in my heart? It would be, actually, you'd pick two. Uncharted 2, because that's the game that got me into wanting to make games. And I would also say Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, because it actually got me into the music I listen to, a lot of the music I listen to. It's also due to my parents and my dad's love for rock and roll, but I definitely got into more like modern rock and emo and punk rock because of that. Misfits, Exhibit, Taking Back Sunday, just a whole array of other bands. Just going for that. Okay, should I take off the blindfold? This belongs in the MoMA. This is a guitar. Duh. Specifically, I made an electric guitar, but you wouldn't be able to tell because the pick guard is kind of off here. So this could be it's an interchangeable guitar. Sign it, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, well, I'll sign it. Here we go. I am not doing that blindfolded.
There's so much going on outside at the Creative Experience. Did you miss karaoke last night? That's okay. You can head over to the Shore Karaoke tent and sing any song that you want that's in their library of songs. Sounds like a pretty good time. There's also, you can check in with our social booth. You can write yourself a letter at Dear Future Me. You can do some arts and crafts, make a friendship bracelet, or maybe a cute little keychain. Whatever you want to do, the Creative Experience is your oyster. Make sure you check out the food trucks, and don't forget to head over to the student club tents. Learn about some of the clubs on campus that you might want to get involved with. We've got some amazing organizations like the Black Student Union, Full Sail Armada. We've got the Pride Club. So definitely go over there, check it out, make some new friends. Right there, that's where we usually play our fun games on CX. Oh, it's been such a good morning so far. Up next, we're heading into our noon session with Hall of Fame 13 inductee Devin Renee on monetizing your skills in between gigs. Sounds like a great session for all of my freelancers and contract workers, so be sure to check that one out either here on stream or go over to the classroom where it's happening. We'll be back here at 1 p.m., but before we head into our panel, let's learn a little bit more about Devin in this video.
I love being a storyteller. Storytelling for me has always been a way of sort of exercising my right to have a voice. I feel like when I was growing up, I wanted somebody to tell my story. I wanted somebody to see it from my point of view. My mom was a single parent, and so it was just the two of us. I have an older sister, but we're 14 years apart. She had long gone to school, and it was just my mother and I was a latchkey kid, so I was involved in a lot of after-school activities. And then by the time I got to high school, I was the president of the drama club. I was all about it. There was something about performing, there was something about writing that made me feel like, okay, this is something that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. Bridget is my former drama teacher from high school. She would give me the best advice. She was like one of my first mentors out the gate.
Devin walked into my classroom. She was extremely confident, just always a go-getter. and an extremely brilliant young lady. I put her in contact with a young man named Cody Canty, who is also alumni of Full Sail, but he and Devin became really close friends.
Every time I talked to him, he was talking about how great his classes were, and I was just like, I'm so jealous. I've gotta get out there to see this school that you keep talking about so much. By the 6th month of Full Sail, I was rocking and rolling. I had friends, I was loving my classes, and I was just like, I can do this. And being at Full Sail in those early years, those are some of the best years of my life.
She graduates from Full Sail, and she's like, yeah, I'm getting my master's. And I'm like, hold up, this young lady's getting her master's before me. And I'm like, this is amazing. But again, it was inspiring. Devin was really living her dreams, and she didn't allow anybody to tell her no.
You have to be a little bit mad, like, to go after some of these goals, because without that madness, it won't propel you forward. I was asked to be the script coordinator for a show called Delilah, and the showrunner came to me and was like, you know, I want you to have some writing opportunities. Why don't you start writing some material? And I was like, wonderful, this is great. So I'm writing and I'm script coordinating at the same time, and then he gives me my first episode. We get to the end of the season, and he says, I want you to write the season finale. It was such a defining moment in my career. This was my time now. It was like, this is what it's all been leading up to. You gotta put up or shut up. You have to step up. And I pulled it off. You get to a point where you have to make your own opportunities. You have to make your own work. And I was like, I'm gonna start my own production company. Yes, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna boss up and start my own production company. After all these years of kind of working on whatever would come my way or taking every opportunity that I was given, now I can actually create opportunities for myself that make me feel like, okay, I'm the boss. It's important for me to give back to the community because somebody paid it forward for me. The feeling that I get when I work with the students at Kids in the Spotlight, you know, when we take their just initial conception of an idea and we produce their film, I get excited by teaching, and I get excited when they get excited, and your students always end up teaching you something.
It's not often that older people talk about how inspiring younger people can be to them. But it's different with Devin. She's just really inspired me. I'm so, so proud of her. She's the person that makes me say, okay, I was there for a reason. And I'm so grateful for that.
In a way, I feel like being inducted into the Hall of Fame means like the work that I've been doing the last 10 years has not gone unnoticed. It means the world to me to be able to have my university recognize me in this way. People see the work that I've done and they want to highlight me for it, and it makes me feel good about myself. I'm going to be a storyteller until the day that I die. As a writer, you can think, wow, everybody showed up to set today because of me, because of words that I put on a page. Getting out this release of emotion and being able to share it with other people and have them understand where it is I'm coming from, there's nothing like that. much for allowing me to be here. Thank you for your time and your talent to take time out of your day to come hear this woman speak to you, right? I am Devin Renee. I am a 2023 Hall of Fame inductee. I did 3 degree programs at Full Sail, which means I owe a lot of student loans, yes. And I have been working tenaciously to pay them off by working in the industry since practically the day that I graduated, which I've been very blessed to do. But there have been times throughout my career where I didn't have a job. And you sort of leave Full Sail. I almost left Full Sail on like a float. I was like at the top of my class, at the top of my game. I beat out all the boys in film. I took no prisoners. And I was ready. And I left Full Sail like Kanye, old Kanye. Like I could take over the world. And I got out into the world and the world took over me. And I found myself and my ex-husband at the time, who was also a Full Sail grad. I was broke. I was living at home with my mama in Atlanta. And I didn't know what I was gonna do, Jesus. And it wasn't until I got a call from the Emmys Television Academy, the only internship I ever applied for, which I do not recommend, okay? Apply for multiple, that I got an opportunity to go to Los Angeles. But I don't think I was as prepared as I would have liked to be. So today's workshop is about what do you do when you are trying to bridge the gap between the thing that you want to do and the thing that you have to do. We all have to eat. We all have to have lights, you know. We all have to clean our laundry and have a clean environment to sleep. So how do we provide for ourselves? How do we put a roof over our head while we're trying to monetize the passion for what it is that we really would do for free? Not that you don't want to get paid, but if we break down the antithesis of why we're here, it's because I love what it is I do till this day. So how do you do that is basically what this workshop is about. And so when I say bread and butter, does anybody know what I mean by that idiom, bread and butter? You look like you know. That's okay. What you got to say? Meat and potatoes. I said that a lot when I worked in development for Warner Brothers. It's the meat and the potatoes. It's the hook in the song. How do I get this, right? So the bread and butter, monetizing your skills, is kind of where we start. So what is bread and butter? Bread and butters are strategies that are reliable ways to earn income while pursuing creative or performance-based careers. Everybody up in here wants to do something creative for the most part, right? Even if you are in like entertainment business, you are in the business of managing something creative. It all goes together. So we get to a point where we have these aspirational dreams to pursue our careers, but how do we do that and provide for ourselves at the same time? So bread and butter help artists financially sustain themselves between gigs. And we know gigs are what? Jobs, right? You might have a gig today, you might be gone tomorrow. So how do you maintain? Now, most creative careers are project-based, meaning income can be inconsistent. How many of you all have done contract work before? Okay, so we know that they can be a little funny with the money when it comes to the contract work. Sometimes you get paid, sometimes you don't. I remember I was here at Full Sail when I was an undergrad and we were working on, and I won't name no names, but we were working on an album for a very popular rapper at the time. And this mofo would not pay. And he had the money, he was throwing money on the stage, on the green screen stage, but we had not been paid. And it was like not being paid, like almost getting evicted, not being paid. So for some of us, we know how difficult it can be to not only do the job, find the job, do the job, but then you have to invoice after the job and make sure that you get what you deserve for that project. And in between that, what do you do? So you want to develop consistent income streams to allow yourself to sustain. Now, how many of you all have a job? Like I work at Target, I work at, okay. How many of you all do work study? Okay, I did work study at the library and at the elementary school here. So I was a part of the work study committee. And we all know how difficult that can be to like balance that on top of what it is that we do. Now, how many of y'all leave Full Sail and go home and work on your personal private projects? I'm talking like kerosene lamp at night, Game of Thrones type of stuff, okay? Some of y'all do. The ones that did not put up your hand, I don't know what you're still doing in this building. If you do not have the type of mindset that you're gonna go home and that you are gonna work on yourself and give yourself the same amount of attention, time, and passion that you give to the other areas of your life, then you are in the wrong room. And I wanna be very clear about that, because they will turn the page on you in LA. They will turn the page on you in New York. They're gonna turn the page on you in Atlanta. They don't care. They don't care. And that's not to discourage you, but it's to prepare you for what it is that you're going to encounter once you get out there. Now, how many of you are already actively working and being paid for the art that you produce? Some people getting some money up in here. Okay, we getting some money. Let me borrow $5. No, okay. So we are on our way, and we are starting to monetize that brand. So successful artists often maintain multiple income streams and not just one job. Now, how many people have multiple jobs? I'm talking, I do a little work on the side, I'm a barista, I do hair, all that. Okay, that's a job, that's an income. Alrighty, so the reality of our creative careers. Now, work in the arts and entertainment industries is often cyclical, okay? Meaning it's a cycle, it's coming in and out. There's a heavy turnover with busy seasons and quiet periods. Now, back in the day, and I did television, you know, we would have pilot season, you know, everything sort of revolved around up front and sort of like you would get a job based on what rooms were going up, okay? Now you have the sort of the content happening all the time. So people are always looking for content, always pitching, and it doesn't necessarily matter because we're not necessarily on a broadcast schedule. So it's a little bit easier now because we're open and we're more malleable to creating work all throughout the year. So many talented artists leave the industry not because of lack of ability, but because of financial instability. How many people have thought about quitting because it was hard, because they couldn't pay, because they're like, oh, I don't even know if I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write the script, I don't even know if anybody's gonna read this. I'm gonna shoot this movie, nobody's gonna care, right? And it's easy to start to believe those lies because you're not getting the things that you need. You're not meeting your basic necessity. That's where having those multiple streams of income come in. So income gaps are a normal part of creative careers, and we learn to sort of go without. There'll be times in my career where I feel like I was living large. I was the Jeffersons. I had moved on up for like a week. And then you come out of that and you're going back to eating oodles and noodles, right? So a part of it too is learning to manage your money in between gigs. I would get writing contracts, right? And you're getting several $1,000s at a time after taxes and all these things, which for those that are intending to do anything contractual, you wanna make sure you incorporate or you're an LLC. Nobody told me that. And the government took a lot of my money. So I don't want it to happen to you. So make sure you have a business behind yourself. But you get to a point where you have these gaps and you don't really know how you're gonna sustain yourself, and you start to feel like, man, this instability is not worth it. So you have to find ways to keep yourself involved in not only your art, but also how it is you can count dollars and coins in your pocket. So treating your creative career like a small business essentially becomes the sustainability effort that you have to be after. When I started Boss Up, it was out of the necessity of like, I had gotten paid on OWN, and they took half my money. Nobody had ever explained to me that I was supposed to be a business as a single woman in this country, that if I didn't have dependents, that most of my money was gonna be cut in half. And so I learned that lesson the hard way. And I literally named Boss Up because I felt like I wanted to metaphorically punch myself in the chest for not having known better after they took all my money. So I had to boss up and start again. I had to pivot. And as a business owner, now you're getting into the branding. Now you're getting into like, okay, I'm treating myself as a business in itself. So I was always on. And when you run your own business for yourself, you're not necessarily off. So I can't be like, I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. No, I'm up at 12. You know what I'm saying? I'm up at 3. And I'm getting work done. I live in South Africa now, so I'm literally working American hours, but I'm there. So it's really about you being really malleable. You have to learn to be kind of like the water and take what it is you're getting, but also make that into something. All right, so let's take a look at understanding your transferable skills. Now, what do I mean by transferable skills? Somebody tell me. Yes, Lucas.
That's exactly right. It is a skill, for those of us that did not hear what he said, it is a skill that you already have acquired, that you can then turn over to become something that is useful in your everyday, right? So I hadn't realized that I had all these like skill sets that I wasn't really tapping into until I was hungry and I was forced to figure it out, okay? You get hungry enough, you'll find some skills. Now, creative students often underestimate how many marketable skills they already possess. So if I was to ask you in the hat who took my class yesterday, what's a transferable skill you already possess? Communication. Thank you. So that might translate into what? Customer service, right? Customer service. What's a skill that you already possess? Problem solving. So that might translate into what? Like project management, right? Team management. What's a skill over here that you possess? Already. Something that's not to do with the arts. Yeah, but just a skill you have. Building. Okay, so like physical building? Okay, so you might be out in them streets. Okay, I respect that. But we have these skills. All right, so skills developed through artistic training include communication, like you said, and storytelling, public speaking and presentation, collaboration and teamwork, creative problem solving, which I heard from over here, discipline and time management, and these skills can be monetized in many industries, not just entertainment. And do we all understand what I mean when I say monetization? I want to monetize my brand. The biggest difficulty I had was, and I talked to some Full Sail students yesterday who said they work for free. How many of y'all are working for free already? Working for free. Stop doing that. Who told y'all to do that? Don't do that. Okay. What happens is, and I get it, you want to build your resumes, right? You want to build yourself up. You want to be like, okay, I have to have the clout to be able to give notes, right? To be a producer, to do all these things. So to a certain extent, you do have to engage in projects almost on a quid pro quo type of level, right? But you get to a point, if you work for free too much, people will start asking you to work for free beyond graduation. So I would have people, when I was even at Warner Brothers, sending me like 200-page scripts like, Deb, can you read this and give me industry notes? And I was like, no, I can't help you, right? Because I don't work for free. But I had worked for free so long that when it came time to monetize the Devin Renee Boss Up brand, people, they loved me, but they didn't want to buy my brand. They were like, well, you gave me notes 2 years ago for free. Why are you charging now? Because things cost money, right? This education was not free. So you have to walk a very fine dichotomized line where you are establishing yourself in your professional presence. However, mama didn't raise no fool. We are not up in here working for free, y'all. So whatever, if somebody does not want to pay you for your time and talent, unless it's somebody that could change the trajectory of your career, move on. That person is not there to support you and encourage you, seriously. And I hate oftentimes that a lot of these interns are not being paid. So be very leery of that for those of us that are just starting out. Now, examples of bread and butter income for artists are stuff like teaching lessons, music, acting, dance, writing. How many people do dance? How many people are writers? How many people are actors? We got some entertainers, right? You can go on, websites like OutSchool and skill sets and actually create profiles, and then people from all over the world will reach out to you to be able to pay you to monetize your brand to see your tutorial videos. And it's you setting your costs, it's you paying a percentage usually to the company that's representing you, but this is stuff that you could be doing now to establish yourself, to make a little bit of lunch money on the side. It's freelance creative work, like editing. How many editors in the house? I suck at editing, I love you guys. Thank you, post-production. Voiceover design, choreography. How many event hosts are up in here? Anybody do events or show pro? All these types of things will help you when you are trying to find those in between. I like to call them connective tissue jobs. It's a connective piece of tissue that bridges the gap between this is where I need to be and this is what I have to have, right? I want to be here, but I have to have clothes on my back. I have to have things to clean myself in my home until I get there, because nobody's going to hire me if I'm smelly and tired, right? That's how we do. Okay, social media management is a big one too. Now, this wasn't, when I was here at Full Sail 15 years ago, social media, we were getting into it, but it wasn't as much of a thing. Now it's like a thing. I literally I teach creative writing online as a part of my bread and butter strategy in between gigs. And I'm always telling my students, and one of my students said, Ms. Devin, stop saying that. I was like, an influencer is not a job. And he was like, it is though. I was like, it's not. But it is though. Apparently it is. So managing people's social medias that have brands that actually are influencing has become a profession, you all. It's not necessarily what I subscribe to, but there's an audience for it. And what we have to understand is we don't have to like everything or everybody, but there's an audience for it. And when there's an audience for it, that means what? Money. There we go. And then also screens, also script coverage. I, as a writer, did a lot of script doctoring. My initials, Devin Renee, I branded the heck out of that. I was like, I am the script doctor. Right? If you need me to breathe life into this material, that's what I did. And that's how I made money in college and elsewhere. People used to hit me up on the side and ask me to write their last scripts for their final presentations. I won't name no names. But I was known for, in my degree program, in my class, for being really good in this particular area. So people started to come to me to ask me. And at first I would do it for free, I would do hookups. But after a while, I was like, that's gonna cost, right? So it's not necessarily about ego. It's more about make it make sense. Even if I'm gonna do some work for you, quid pro quo, make it make sense. If you are somebody that I need a resource from and I don't necessarily have money to pay you, but you and I can do some sort of artist exchange, that is still a valuable exchange. But make it make sense for your brand, for your monetization. All right, now freelancing as a creative income stream. Freelancing allows artists to work project to project while maintaining their flexibility. But the difficulty that we don't talk about in freelancing a lot of times is there's no health insurance. There's no union protection. You can be fired at will. A lot of it stinks. A lot of it's great, but some of it stinks. And you don't feel as protected if you don't have these coveted spots where you're getting health insurance. You know your check is coming every Friday and so forth. So there are benefits. There are pros and cons to both sides, right? When you're freelance, you have the flexibility to work from project to project and kind of do what you want, but you don't have all these other things. When you're at a company, when you're getting paid a corporate check, you're there. And it might be more difficult for you to do these passion projects that you love. So you kind of want to find a balance where I am funneling money into my dream, but maybe I do it by way of this other thing. And maybe that thing is not my dream. Maybe that thing is that I work at a hospital part-time on the weekends. Maybe that thing is that I was really good at violin, so I started giving violin lessons to people that I make a little extra money on the side. It does not have to be the thing that it is that you want to do. Here's the thing that you have to understand, though. It is a journey. It is not a destination. So if you are in this business because you think you're gonna up and make it one day, somebody's gonna turn on a switch and it's now the universe is gonna rain down on me, that's not how this works. And for the most part, this is a thankless industry. People are not gonna constantly be giving you adulation and accolades for the work that you do. So if you are in that type of business, in the ego business, you're in the wrong business. You need to find a new outlet. That is not why we're here. We're here because we're creatives, and even when nobody's watching, we're creating. We love it. It's in our blood. When we tried to run away from it and turn it off, it found us again. We would see signs, right? We've been called to it by God and our religion and all these other things. So we can't dismiss that other side of it, right? But we have to be rational. We have to be functional as we go along. So we know about entertainment skills, where we can translate to freelance markets, examples. Video editing, podcast production is a big one. I know a couple of students that have actually sort of made their transitional acquiescence, if you will, into podcasting, and they've been able to make some money because of the fact that they have so many viewers. So that's something to think about when you are building your brand. Now, when I say building a brand, how many of you are actually in the process of building said brand? So if I was like, can I go to your website right now? You got a website? Yes. Do you have a portfolio? You have a LinkedIn portfolio. Okay. Someone else, do we have a website? Do we have a portfolio? Yes. And what's the name of your business? Say it in the mic.
EMC Square Business.
EMC Square, so you have branding. Okay, and we have logos and things. Moving logo animation, good. We need to be moving in a space of this creation. I always say you start building your brand when you are really like now in middle school. Like Facebook, and I'm dating myself, but Facebook didn't become popular until I was like my senior year in high school. That's like when it really started taking off. I'm a millennial, so it was right. I was right in the cusp. College. Okay, so you was right there with me. And it was like this thing that took over, but it was still very early. It's almost like AI, the technology, MySpace. Yes, people were on MySpace. So it's like, you guys don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just like speaking a whole other language right now. But I say that to say that social media wasn't as popular, so people were not as concerned with brand building, right? It wasn't like, oh, I have to be conscious of what it is I say, or I'm going to be blacklisted, or I'm going to be outed, right? Now it's a thing, and employers, line producers, executive producers, even people that take pitch meetings are looking at your social media. And if you own that twerking and you ain't working, you're not getting hired, okay? So for that, I say, if you have a separate brand where you are doing some things that might be a bit salacious, just have a different social media, y'all. Make it private. Change the name, Don't be like, this is James Anderson. Like, that's not smart. Change it, because you don't want people to hold you accountable for that type of part of your lifestyle if that's not who you are all the time. But keep in mind that we are living in very, very undefined times. And the things that we get online that are perceived, those are the details that people are going to be judging you by. So unfortunately, I even go back on Facebook and I look back on some of my posts from when I was at Full Sail, and I was like, Lord have mercy, let me delete some of this stuff. I don't want this to follow me. So be conscious of what it is that you're putting out there, okay? All right, so in a second, we're gonna do something interesting, which I think will be fun. But let's talk about building the multiple income streams for a second. So relying on that single source we know does not work. We need, and it leads to risky creative fields. And by risky, one of my old unit production manager, I would just always be like, well, Pat, what if they don't sell the show? And she'd say, we'll all end up in porn. And she'd say it with a straight face, like it was serious. But it does end up making you make risky choices. So you don't want that to happen, right? Nobody wants that. So many successful artists combine several sources of income, such as their performance work. Teaching is a big one, okay? And it does not have to be teaching like you're gonna get up in front of a classroom type of teaching. But whatever it is you do, if you do nails, if you do hair, whatever it is that is sort of the other creative thing that you might be invested or involved in, interior design, whatever. I know that after COVID, or during COVID rather, teaching and tutorials and even Zoom just took off, right? Because we were all at home and it gave people an opportunity to connect. So that's still very much prevalent, so you can use that. And then of course, workshops and speaking engagements, and that's a big one. I got to the point with the exception of the philanthropy that I do through Full Sail, which I love. When you get to a point of doing philanthropy, right, and speaking engagements, you have to sort of weigh whether or not you're going to start taking what we call an appearance fee. So you don't just show up to places for free all the time. Now, if it's your church, if it's your alma mater, if it's your little cousin or something, that's one thing. But if it's continuously causing you to show up, present your likeness for free, and to promote your brand and nobody's paying you, that's problematic. So be conscious of that once you get into that area of your career where people are like, ooh, you're endowed with the professionalism and the experience to have something to say. We'd love to have you come talk to our such and such. And you'll say, great. And I'll forward you over to my assistant and they'll inform you and send over my NDA and my performance fee. And you just say that with a straight face, because people will try you, y'all. I've been tried many a day. And then this model creates financial stability and ultimately professional flexibility, which is all we want. All right, so the creative entrepreneur mindset. I'm just interested to know some of the degree programs that are here today. How many people are in film? My film people, I love you guys. This one goes out to you. How many people are in writing, creative writing or entertainment business? Masters, okay. Anybody in games? Always one gamer, I love that. There's always one, I love that. Thank you for being here. Show production, audio, okay? That's right, hold it down, thank you. Okay, so we have a little bit of everybody in here. Oh, I'm sorry. I do forget the sports people. And sports. We got that handout too. Okay. So we have a little bit of everybody up in here, right? How many of y'all know other people from other degree programs? How many of you all are working together already? Okay. How many of y'all are being paid for the work that you do? And you see how it gets lower and lower and lower and lower. Okay. Right, but what do we recognize is that there's a need on either side. From this side of the room to that side of the room, we need help. So we need each other, and that's when that transferable, we have this connection. You need a script. I need a director. We could do this, right? And we can have this creative exchange because we are creative pioneers in a sense, and we have to have that ingenuity. All right, so artists today must think like creative entrepreneurs. You are a mini business, and a most important thing that I want to stress is as the business owner of your own intellectual property, which is you have to live a balanced lifestyle. This isn't about bread and butter necessarily, but this is to say that when you are a representation of your own brand, you can't be out here in these streets acting crazy. You can't be looking crazy. Nobody's gonna deal with you and take you seriously as a professional if you don't step with the art of that perfection. You have got to live in that divine essence of yourself in order for people to take you seriously. Otherwise, you're in the wrong room. Okay, this means learning how to market your skills. Brand a professional brand, like we talked about. Identify opportunities to monetize your talents, right? Not in a way where you're always that guy that's like asking for something, but knowing your value, knowing your worth. I cannot stand when people come at me that I know have money and they haggle with me and they go back and forth over rates that we know you can pay and you know I'm worth it. Know your value, and you don't have to say, you'll get to a point in your career where you don't have to say yes to everything. It's okay to say, you know what? I'm good. I'm sorted. You know, it's okay. Now, you can't say that out the gate. You can't say that out the gate. It's not always the most financially conducive thing to do in the moment. I got bills, I got things, right? But when you get to that point, it is okay for you to put some distance between those projects that don't make you feel as comfortable as you would like as a professional, and that's okay. Now, because creativity is not only artistic, it also applies to how you build that career. And how many people already have resumes, cover letters, have visited career dev, they know somebody? Okay, so I had a couple students tell me yesterday that they didn't even know what career dev was, and I almost shed a glory tear, okay? I need you all to be taking advantage of that resource as much as possible because they're there to help you monetize their brand as well, your brand as well. All right, so we're gonna turn those skills into opportunities. We're gonna start by identifying what you are good at, what people often ask you for help with, and what skills are in demand. So I am a creative. I started off as an actress, and one of the things I like to do is to move around, and I don't know if this is gonna be okay because we're filming, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So what I would like you all to do is you are going to, these 3 questions, what are you good at? What people often ask you for help with, and what skills are in demand. I want you to find one other person in this room that you can creatively exchange with. Whether that's I need a script, I need a composer, I need a game creator, I need a game writer. There is literally one other person in this room that I guarantee can help you, and I want you to get their contact information before we leave. So I'm going to give you all 5 minutes. Get up, move around, mix it up, find your person, because I'm gonna call on somebody in this room and they're gonna have to tell me who they are and who they met. Wrap up your conversations. Find that person. And we're gonna settle it down. As my AD come back, settle. There we go. Okay, so I like to get the blood moving. I like to get the energy flowing because once you get out of your chair, you get in somebody's face in your IRL, because everything happens online, that's when you're really getting to know the essence and the energy of a person, right? I found that when I have done writers' rooms online, as much as I love not having to get up and go fight the California traffic on the 405, I didn't have the same energy. I didn't have the same essence that I had when I was in front of somebody, right? But those situations can be a little bit anxiety-filled. So it's important that we present ourselves in our best authentic way, right? And we take the air out of that anxiety balloon. Because as the president of Warner Brothers once told me, it's just a conversation. You walked up in here and you didn't have a job. If you walk out without a job, what's the worst thing that can happen? You walked out how it is you walked in, right? So if you come off better, then everything that you do in that conversation is a win, no matter what. And once you start presenting things like that, that's when you know you've really conquered that anxiety. All right, so I'm gonna just call on some folks to see who it is you met, how it is you all decided to monetize that brand. I'm gonna go to the young lady in the orange with the Full Sail jacket on.
Hi, my name is Ashley Miles.
Hi.
I talked to Jason, who's in sportscasting.
Jason, raise your hand. Okay.
Yeah, we both talked about like kind of our niches, and I'm in film. He's in sportscasting. Nice. He was telling me that he likes to be on camera, doing a lot of on-camera stuff. So that obviously related to me with finding extras on set for film
background
sets and stuff like that. He said he was really interested in. So yeah, that was kind of our.
That was the connection there. Okay,
Yeah.
Viz, you see what I'm saying? Now she may have some background actor that comes in that wants to get the experience. We've helped each other. There's an exchange there. I like that. Very good. May I please ask who you network with the beautiful hair?
Mic 3 going out.
Elijah. Very nice to meet you, Elijah.
Thank you. And I'm in digital art and design, and we connected on the fact that he's working on like a comedy sketch situation, and I do graphics. So if eventually we ever work together, I would develop like graphics and stuff for his project that he's working on.
Amazing. Okay, amazing. Do we see how easy that is? I'm in a room full of artists. Now, most of the time, you're at the Winn-Dixie. You're at the Publix. You're at David Buster's, okay? You got bankers and lawyers and regular people. You're not surrounded by some of the greatest people you'll probably ever come into contact with in your career. Imagine the people that went to school with me in my class that didn't network with me. They mad, right? Right? So the people that you may need to meet might be sitting right next to you. Really, they might be in the class ahead of you or behind you. It's really important that you understand. My gamer, my man that showed up, who did you connect with? You connected with, I know Lucas. And Lucas a delight.
Thank you. I connected with Lucas.
Okay, and what did Lucas say he could do for you?
He's a creative writer, and I make games. Of course, games have honestly been criticized as a storytelling medium in the past, so having a competent storyteller would be an excellent help.
And Lucas is the best because he's got great energy, right?
Oh yeah, he's got great energy.
He's got great energy, easy peasy, done and done. Do we understand? Do we get the concept of what we're doing? So when you are in the fortress, when you are over, because you're the film people, so you're over in building 3, right? A lot, where I spent most of half of my life here at Full Sail. Why are we not networking more? Why are we not getting together on group threads more? You need to monetize the brand now. And like I said, it's okay for it to be quid pro quo in the beginning. You do something for me, I do something for you. Once you get to a point of setting that rate though, as artists, we respect each other. So I'm not gonna go to him and say, can you shoot my podcast for free? I really need you, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to promote myself in my book. I'm not gonna do a disservice to him because I know that he's a professional and he deserves a professional rate. Now, as friends in entertainment, we can do each other favors, right? We can give each other discounted rates and things like that, but you never diminish somebody's value by not paying them what they deserve because then somebody turns around and does it to you, right? Young lady on the end, who did you network with?
Lucia.
Lucia?
Yeah.
Lucia, raise your hand. Okay. And what was the exchange?
And she's in business and I'm in digital art. So she was saying like she needs like flyers and logos and stuff. So that's something I'm working on.
Okay, so this was right down your alley.
Yeah.
Because this is something you need practice with anyway.
Yeah.
Done and done. This makes me very happy. Do you understand? It makes me very happy that we get this concept. Okay, for those that continue to connect, please keep that contact information. We're not gonna call on everybody, obviously. We don't wanna run our poor stagehands to death. But please, contact each other, call each other, have compassion and empathy when you're working with one another, and know that the people that are sitting right next to you in this room, when they do that at traditional colleges, that look to your left, look to your right, not everybody's gonna be here. It's so true. And not everybody's gonna stay in entertainment. I have so many people that I was in school with that were dope. They were really dope. And for whatever life choices, they were not able to monetize that brand. And they got back to their hometown, and maybe they met somebody, maybe they had a baby, maybe life took a different derailment than they originally planned. And now they, for whatever reason, they don't even do the thing that brought them to Full Sail for us to meet in the first place. And that hurts me for those individuals because I knew how much they wanted it, but also how talented they were. And my thing was, I wasn't even as talented as some of the people that I really was impressed with in my class, but I will outwork anybody up in here. That was me, and that's still me. I will stay up, I won't go to bed. I will outwork anybody because I knew I was not that good. So I had to work harder than everybody else, which meant I was up when everybody else was sleeping. So keep that in mind. So you want to look for ways to package those skills into services and offerings as you did in this exercise, because small opportunities often lead to larger professional connections, which we're beginning to understand. All right, so financial stability supports that creative freedom. When you are in a space of living in your true divinity as a creative, you are pouring like a well. When when my bills are paid, when there's some food in my refrigerator, when there's some gas in my car, honey, let me tell you, these pages write themselves. Okay, I will write pages for days because I feel secure. I'm not worried about how I'm gonna eat. I'm not worried about how I'm gonna get to work. I'm not worried about what I need to do to put some electricity and pay my bills. I'm not worried about those things. So know that having financial stability will lead to creative freedom, because as creatives, we get blocked. We can't get around those physical obstacles. It's hard for me to sit down and write a screenplay when I know I might be getting evicted. It's hard for me to sit down and design a video game when I just got into an accident and I don't have the money to fix my car, right? So know that that stability will lead to the interlocking of your and the unlocking, rather, of your creative freedom, because financial pressure can limit your creative choices and it limits your creative discipline. I don't feel like doing it because I'm depressed. I don't have no money anyway. You start saying crazy stuff. I'ma always be broke. You just start losing your mind, because it leads to a negative, it metastasizes inside of you like a cancer, and it leads to a negative way of thinking and feeling about yourself and the potentiality of your ability. Having dependable income streams allows artists to be selective about their projects, like we mentioned. You will get to that day in your career where you're like, I'm not doing that. Oh, Sally Sue shooting a movie? No, she crazy. I don't want to work with her. And you can leave with that, and that's okay. You will get to that point, I promise you. It allows you to invest time into your personal work and other projects. You avoid burnout. You avoid burnout and financial stress, because burnout is so real, you guys. It's so real. And as you just mentioned, healthy lifestyle balance. If you're not doing that on top of all the creative things that you are trying and aspiring to do, you will burn yourself out. You are your instrument. This is it. So if this is not hydrated, if this is not rested, if this is not relaxed, if this is not exercise, it's not gonna go. It's like a ride. It's not gonna ride right, okay? It's gonna be leaning to the left. You want to be at tip-top game, tip-top fighting, right? That's because we take care of our instruments. Because stability creates the freedom to take creative risks and ultimately to grow artistically. Without it, we tend to what? Regress. Okay, so when you're starting your bread and butter plan, because when you leave here, I don't want this to all dissipate into the ether. When you leave here, I want you to be like, okay, that lady, she was saying some stuff. What resonated with me? What can I do to start my plan on my bread and butter strategy to monetize this brand? So you're gonna think about what skills you already possess that people might pay for. And we were able to see a little bit of that in the exercise that we just have, right? So now you're already cooking like, ooh, I do this, I do that. What type of work fits my schedule between gigs? Be realistic about what it is you can do. I don't have time for that. I can't work on these days. I can't work nights. I don't like to take the bus after dark. I don't have a car. Be realistic about your situation and then deduce how much time you really have for this additional gig. How can I stay connected to my creative field while earning income? The idea of this is to not pull you like further away from your work, but closer, to create that stability so that you feel encouraged to be able to do what it is that the universe has endowed you with this divine gift to do. So we wanna make sure we keep that connectivity. And lastly, what small step can I take this month, right now, forget this month, today, to start monetizing my brand? Who can I talk to? What can I post online? Can I post a job opportunity? Okay, can I advertise somewhere that I'm gonna do this? What can I do? What's the first step that I'm gonna take to start putting this plan into motion? But if nothing else, the key takeaway that I want you to land on today is a sustainable creative career is built on both artistic passion and practical strategy. I can't stress that enough. Anybody that is a great artist, whether you respect their art or not, like I'm not a fan of 50 Cent, but he's an extraordinary businessman, right? He is. He makes very smart choices. There are a lot of people where it's like, I don't necessarily agree with the content that they put out, but I can respect the hustle. And I can respect that these people are also business branded. In order to be a successful creative and not get played and get your residuals and be paid what it is you deserve, you've gotta sit up and pay attention because people will try to exploit you and take advantage of you. And that's not what you want. So you have to think practically, but also maintain the duality of that passion of why you got it in the first place. Yes? Yes. All right, because bread and butter strategies are not distractions from your dream, they support and protect it. They're going to hold you and harness you and make you have a gravitational pull while it is you are working and exercising, living in that divinity of your talent. Because ultimately the goal is to create financial stability while continuing to grow creatively. And otherwise, what I'm saying is get that shmoney, right? So we wanna get this money, but we wanna grow and we wanna protect ourselves in the process. Yes? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now and I'm gonna take some questions if anybody has any. But I'm gonna ask that you stand at the microphone so that we can stop running our wonderful staff and crew like crazy.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
My name is Jason. I think you heard earlier. First of all, I'd like to thank you. I think you said you're from Atlanta earlier. And
I lived in Atlanta once on Norcross, Jimmy Carter.
Okay. Well, that's good enough. I'm from Atlanta too. I appreciate you putting on for the city and, having this, pool you have and, coming back to the school, give us this information. But my question is, from your experience personally, this question about you, what do you think the most lucrative or like place you were getting the most money or seeing the most money, like what city or state do you think that was? Like
I mean, it's going to depend on the profession.
Yeah,
so if
like
you're
yours.
in show production, it's going to be New York. You know what I'm saying? If you're in television, it might be California. It might even be North Carolina or New Orleans because of the tax incentive and because of your crew, we are always hiring crew. We can't hire people from Hollywood unless they're mains. So it really depends on what the person is doing. For me, LA was my moneymaker. But we have to understand that LA is a very expensive place. I am not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not your mama. I'm not here to burp you and tell you lies. I will tell you the truth. And the truth and the reality of it is that if you go out there and you are not financially stable, you are not going to make it for long. You might get out there, but you won't stay out there. So LA was great for work, but sustaining in LA in between gigs becomes the dichotomy between living in an apartment and living on Skid Row. Yeah? Yeah. Did I answer your question,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
how are you?
I'm well. You're a little shorty like me.
Sweet. So I do free mixing for people to get practice in, and I know a lot of us as students don't have the resources or the skills to do mixing, so I do very amateur mixing. At what point would you recommend me monetizing those?
Once you feel like those skills have grown to a sense of like, I don't say novice, I don't say amateur behind it, right? You will get to a point where you know when the stuff that you're putting out is on a professional level or it's not. So if you're still learning, that's okay. And when you're still learning, that's why you do the exchange with your fellow cohorts here. Once you acquiesce outside of that and you're like, this is good. This is sounding really professional. This is really, really mixed well. That's when you can start monetizing your brand. And you'll know the difference, because if you start offering rates to people and they don't give you like a face, that's how you know. Like, that's how you know. So slide it on in there. As the work continues to grow, start kind of like, okay, a little less than what you would normally charge. And then every year, oh, that's something I want to point out. Every year, your rate should increase. It's like the landlord. That I don't care if you go up $5. People need to understand that unless we already have a disclosed discussion about what it is, because I'm hooking you up, that I'm like a business. Because the cost of living goes up, I have to go up too. What happens is if you lock in your rate and you're always charging $200 a script or a song or a mix or whatever, people will get very, very comfortable paying that rate no matter where you go in your career. So raise those rates as you raise your artistic ability, if that makes sense. Did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us. As a person of many talents, I know you have those as well. How do you find the balance of what to let go, what to keep going with, when to let something go? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Not just because the money can be good, but like, this isn't what's needed for me right now. How do you find that balance and continue to grow?
Honesty. That's a really great question, actually. But it's honesty. Like, I was working on Blippi, the Netflix kids show that's like, if people have kids, they know it. Look, I didn't know it was as crazy as it was until we started traveling the world. And we were like in Spain, and people were like, we love you, Blippi, hanging from the rafters. I had like never saw anything like this before in my life. And at one point, even when I was at Full Sail, I said I wanted to work in children's programming. I thought I wanted to work in children's programming. I started being a producer in children's programming, and I didn't like it the way I thought. And even though we were flying all over the world, it just wasn't for me. So I had to be real. I had to be honest with myself. Yes, the money was really good, but also I was really stressed out. I wasn't interested in the content. I wasn't promoting it. I wasn't happy. So I ended up taking a job for less money, but it was a job that I enjoyed a lot more. So I think the best thing to do is like people in your circle who want you to be the person they want you to be, because that's how they're attaching themselves to you. And a lot of people did that with me. They're okay with you being unhappy because they're happy in the space that you're in. Yeah. So they won't be honest with you. They won't be like, girl, this job sucks. They won't tell you. So you've got to be honest with yourself. And as long as you maintain that honesty, like, I'm gonna be real. Like, you can fool everybody else, but if you go home at night, you have that Viola Davis morning, that morning and that cry, right? And you're like, this isn't for me, then it's okay to bow out, right? No matter what people say. So know that your own worst critic, yes, but you need to be your most honest critic, because not everybody in your camp is gonna tell you the truth. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Hi.
Hi.
When you were first starting, like, how did you handle income gaps that like got in the way of like your creative career?
I was so terrible, y'all. I'm gonna keep it real, because we family up in here. I was doing all types of crazy stuff. I remember I sold my Mac laptop like right after I graduated. Wrong. Don't sell your instrument. Duh. You're a writer. Boop. But I needed the money. I did payday loans. I did all types of stuff that like this whole presentation was not for. The bottom and the antithesis of it becomes, I want you all to go in a different way. So when I wasn't able to bridge the gap between making ends meet, I didn't believe in myself enough that my skills were transferable enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna start teaching, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna start coaching. Like, I have a lot of abilities, but I wasn't tapping into that. So I kind of missed the boat with that, which is part of the reason why I wanted to give this presentation, because I found myself very overwhelmed and anxiety-filled as a young woman here at Full Sail, trying to work and support myself and doing all these other things to kind of keep up with the Joneses. So go against that mantra. Don't take out student loans. Don't get credit cards. Don't, rob Peter to pay Paul. Don't rob people in general. Just none of that. But obviously you want to take your actual skills and do something with those. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank
you so much for your question.
Hello, I wanted to ask you about work-life balance because I'm currently involved in 2 different businesses. I have All Indie, which is like networking meets social media. And then I also have my own freelance, which I do paid work for local businesses and stuff like that. So I wanted to ask you about the work-life balance and also how to transition between one job to another in freelance.
That's a really great question. And it's part of what I touched on earlier is you got to take care of that instrument. You've got to be hydrated. You've got to be rested. You got to meal prep. You've got to exercise. You've got to be honest about your event. I would sort of oversell myself on the days I had or the time I had for something. And then I find myself under the gun on my own schedule, on my own deadline, and I can't meet it. So don't oversell the expectations that you as yourself know that you're not going to reach. It's about really finding a balance because when you're giving 25% here, you can only be giving 75% here, right? So you have to learn to be giving 50-50 if you have your hands in 2 different pots. Or it's okay to slow down and synthesize the work enough to say, I'm gonna work on one thing at a time because I really want to build. Because when you're giving 110% to something, you don't have to worry about something falling through the cracks. So find out what needs to be the priority and then work from there. Thank you so much. Okay, unfortunately, we are out of time. My email, if anybody knows how to spell my name, it's just deborahrenee@gmail.com. That's for those that are online and in person. Feel free to reach out to me as your Full Sail sister of the universe. I'm here to support. Give me time if you do reach out to me with questions. No, do not send me scripts. I am not going to adjudicate your scripts, guys. But I love y'all, all right? And I thank you all for being here.
And we're back. Look at that beautiful Hall of Fame signage outside of Full Sail Live, created by the incredible designers at Platinum Creative. Shout out, Michelle. It looks so good. We are having a great day here at Full Sail University's Hall of Fame Week. We're checking out the creative experience. They've got rock climbing. They've got arts and crafts. There's so much stuff. Go write a letter to your future self. Check out the student clubs or head over to the feedback loop and see what Leslie and Tremaine have got going on over there. Hello, welcome back. Coming up in this next hour, we'll chat with Sebastian Chris, one of the Hall of Fame's first ever inductees, take on the Beanbag Challenge with Matt Potoff, play Word on the Beat with my best friend Justin Rathbun, and head to the backlot for Hot Potato with Stephanie Dawson. We're in for a great hour. He's won 8 Grammys and 14 Latin Grammy Awards in his 30-year career as a producer, working with some of the biggest artists in music, including Elvis Costello, Shakira, Marc Anthony, and Luis Fonsi. He's an inductee of the first ever Hall of Fame class at Full Sail University. It's my pleasure to welcome to the show Sebastian Chris.
Hello.
Hi, Sebastian. How are you?
Okay.
Okay.
Craving a little iguana pizza. But
So while we were waiting to come into this segment, Sebastian did inform me that down in Miami you can get iguana pizza.
Yes.
And he hasn't tried it.
No.
But I'm not going to try it either. But knowing it exists is interesting.
I guess, yeah.
Would you tell us in the chat? Would you
Tastes
eat
like
iguana
chicken.
pizza? Tastes like chicken. I thought that alligator tastes like chicken.
It's a little mini alligator.
It's basically the same thing, right? They were all dinosaurs once anyway. Well, Sebastian, how's it going? How's your Hall of Fame week been? I know you haven't been back in a couple years.
Great.
Yeah?
I mean, it's been catching up with students, with whole teachers. Yesterday I saw Keith Lay, who was one of my teachers when I went to school here back in the 1800s. Yeah.
And he's still teaching here.
Yeah. And
Wow.
he's teaching at here and at UCF.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's really doing double duty, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you've got some fond memories of being here on campus, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
What's one of your favorite places on campus?
Well, my fondest memory actually was we had one video class, even if you were doing audio recording or RA recording arts, whatever it was called back then. And we had an assignment to rate movies, do like a Siskel and Ebert, which is an old reference which nobody will know. The critics, they would watch a movie and they would rate them thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah.
I said, that's boring. Let's go rate drive-thrus. So we went and rated, like Checkers and McDonald's, and we got into a lot of trouble because we were hanging off out of the car with like $40,000 cameras, but it was fun.
What place got the highest rating? Do you remember?
No, not at all.
Last year, you made a return to campus with Elvis Costello in tow.
Yes.
That was fantastic. Can you tell me a little bit about that, why you brought him here?
Well, they needed a place to rehearse for their upcoming tour. And I was talking to him and he said, yeah, we might go to a theater up in Atlanta. And I'm like, well, what's the routing like? And, I asked him, I said, well, would you consider going to Full Sail, speaking to students and rehearsing there and having students be part of the crew? And he loved the idea. So he said yes.
I love it.
And yeah, we had him. And it was kind of a big full circle moment for me because, hold on, let me turn my phone off. Sorry, guys. It's Elvis Costello calling.
It's Elvis Costello calling you? You're kidding. Speak of the devil. Say his name and he will call. Sorry, Elvis.
I'll call him back. That's funny. We're finishing a project together now, so another one. Yeah, so, one of my lab mates got me into his music.
Okay.
A guy named Chris Sullivan from North Carolina, who's still a dear friend. My love for Elvis's music started here, and then when he came back, it was pretty emotional.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I would have been crying, I'm sure.
It was great.
I love that. And it's like, when you were a student, would you ever have imagined that you would be bringing someone like Elvis Costello to campus for such an experience? Yeah, right.
No, when I was a student, I didn't imagine much of anything other than trying to, I didn't have for the last 4 or 5 months, I didn't have a place to live. I didn't have a car. So I couch surf a lot.
Wow.
And, my friends got me through it.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's good to have friends.
Oh, yeah.
So back when you were inducted into the Hall of Fame, you donated something really special to the school. We have a video here, so we're going to take a look at that real quick, okay?
I'm going to do something, and I'd like the school to take care of something for me. It's not mine because the rules state that when you get one of these things, they're not yours. You're just holding it. But I would like to dedicate the first award that I ever won as a producer to the school, and would like to house it here in the school. So if you could keep this for me and take care of it.
Holy cow.
And hold it at the school.
Oh my God. That's incredible.
Cool. All right, and now let's rock and roll.
Wow. I'm getting emotional just like watching that, even though it was so long ago.
It was.
So
What year was that?
What year was that? 2008.
Okay.
Yeah. That was before the Hall of Fame, as we know it, didn't really exist. That was, so I would say most people would want to display their first Grammy as a producer on their mantle in their house, show it off to their friends. What made you choose to gift it to the school?
Well, first, it makes a really good gift because I gave one to my mom, and she, my brother and sister were really mad. It was one of the holiday gifts. I hadn't bought anything for her. I didn't have time to go shopping. What do I give her? And I'm like, a Grammy. I'll give her a Grammy. And actually it worked. But, without this school, without John Phelps's vision, most of us that are in the Hall of Fame, if not all of us, wouldn't be where we are career-wise. So, I came here with the dream of becoming a producer one day, and I did, and they gave me this thing, and I'm not giving it back, and I'll have the school hold it. And also I think as a student, it's good to see things like the fishbowl, because it becomes attainable all of a sudden. It's real. Yeah. And if I keep it on my mental, I'm going to look at it and it's just going to make me feel old because it's got a year date.
Right.
And it's like, what am I going to get out of it other than feeling old and irrelevant?
I mean, to be fair, you can go listen to the record, right? And that probably
Right.
brings you more memories of the project than looking at a Grammy.
Yeah, I mean, the Grammy brings you memories of like the Grammys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. Listen, it's an incredible honor. But I think it's a lot more useful for a student to walk by Gary Rizzo's Oscar and go like, wow, that thing it's attainable.
Yeah. I think that's beautiful. Wow. You've had an incredible career so far, and you continue to take on projects with massive international audiences. What keeps you going? What keeps you motivated after all these
I
years?
got to pay rent.
That's so honest.
I mean,
Was that always the motivation, even from day one?
yeah. I mean, it was, listen, this is the way I looked at it. I said, I wanted to make a living making music. Yeah. And if I do a little bit better each year, if I'm paying rent, I'm doing all right.
Cool.
It wasn't like I want to be famous, I want to win
Right.
awards, I wanted none of that. So I just wanted to make a living making music.
Well, you're obviously really good at it if this has been what it's resulted in, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You don't think you're so good at it? No.
Well, I wrote a book and I haven't published it yet, but it's called How to Make It in the Music Business Without Any Talent. So,
I'll have to read that one. So you were in the first class. How does it feel kind of seeing where we are today versus what Hall of Fame was like when it first started?
Well, when it first started, we didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
We got this weird phone call from Gary and Jay and the staff, and it's like, you're in the Hall of Fame. And I'm like, did I have a baseball career that I don't know about?
Like Cooperstown? Am I going to Cooperstown?
Yeah, actually, there was somebody who I think the late Rob Reiner sent in a video.
Yeah.
And that was like his thing. It's like, I didn't know about your batting average. I think was it Fishman?
It was,
I think
yeah.
Mark, yeah. And so, yeah. I mean, we didn't know what it was, but I always came back to the school and loved, kids. Talking to the kids reminded me of how I felt, that uncertainty I felt when I was going to school, and your dreams were really big and you had a lot of debt, and how am I going to get out of this hole, and how am I going to make it, and so seeing students be at that point in their lives also reminds you, keeps you grounded, and reminds you that you're probably not the most talented person in the room.
Yeah.
And that these kids are, they're gunning for your job.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll take it at some point.
Yeah, you want them to.
Oh yeah.
And what about them being better makes you better?
I don't know if it makes me better. There's a wall that you hit.
Yeah.
Unless you're Prince.
We can't all be Prince.
No.
Only Prince can.
None of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love when I meet somebody out there that's made it and they go like, I remember you came into school and talking to us. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm always like, was I rude? Or did I get, okay, good. All right. Go on.
Oh, well, we're so happy to have you here, Sebastian. Thanks for
I'm
coming
happy to
on
be
the
here.
show. If you see Sebastian on campus, make sure you say what's up, ask your questions.
Yeah, we're going to be, I think, at a meet and greet.
Okay.
At Full Sail Live at 2.
Perfect. Head over to Full Sail Live at 2 and you can meet and greet my buddy Sebastian here. He is
Yeah,
fantastic.
and there's other people there. You don't have to
Yeah, they're okay. But all right. Well, we're going to check out your video all about what got you inducted into the Hall of Fame. You want to tell them to play it?
Sure.
Tell them. Say, play the video.
Play the video.
I was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Grew up until I was 4 years old in the city, and then moved to a suburb
called La Lucila, about half an hour away from the city. My parents got married very young when they were about, I think, 20, 21 years old. I mean, I had a great childhood. We never went, you know, whatever we wanted, we got without being spoiled. And they were basically, you know, middle class. They've always found ways to, you know, if we really wanted something, to get us what we wanted. And we were always very appreciative of that. We were always very conscious of the sacrifices they made. Great music makes you, in the best of times, gives you comfort, and really makes you think and challenges you and changes. You know, I've seen it described as, you know, a song can come on and it changes the shape of a room. You know, there were things like, I remember my dad making my brother and I sit down and listen to Tommy by The Who from top to bottom. And anybody who knows that record, I mean, it's a double album, you know, 5 years old. You know, I got to sit through the world's first rock opera, you know. And I knew when I was young that, you know, John Bonham was the greatest drummer in the world, and that's because my dad made sure that I knew that John Bonham was the greatest drummer in the world and that the Beatles were the Beatles. And my thing when I got out of Full Sail is I wanted to be in a major studio because I wanted to have access to the opportunities. I had a great opportunity to work at Crescent Moon Studios, which was Amelia and Gloria Stefan's place. And, you know, the thing that I really learned at that studio was how important an opportunity is. The thing about any kind of success is that anybody who thinks success is their own is living in a dream world. I mean, you know, my success is attributed to all the people who taught me, to my parents, to, you know, my brother and sister, to my wife, to the people that I work with. I mean, it's not mine, you know. I mean, I'm a part of it, but it's not you. It's really, you know, a lot of things have to go right for you to be able to do what you want to do in your life.
I'm going to do a little me talking. Alrighty, look at that beautiful backlot, all those yummy food trucks. Make sure you check out Florida Juice Company. They're my favorite. You can also head to the app to see the schedule of what food trucks are here, what time they'll be here until. You can find links to their websites to look at their menus, or you can just walk over there and look at the menu yourself. How fun. We're back here in the studio having an awesome time so far. Had a great conversation with Sebastian right now, but let's talk a little bit about our next guest. He's a 2013 entertainment business graduate, former pro Call of Duty player, and esports professional who has worked with brands like eUnited. He's currently serving as the Vice President of Gaming and Creators with Pivot Agency. Please welcome to the show my buddy, Matt Burns-Potoff.
Hi, Jess. How are you?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, always. It's a pleasure. You've been on the show 3 years in a row now, I think?
I believe so. I think it's in a different location every time. Yeah. But yeah, it's. I know we did at the Fishbowl, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's always fun hanging out, giving back, being here in the spirit of Full Sail's Hall of Fame event.
Love that. Love that. So what do you have going on this week? You've done any sessions or meet and greets?
Today I did a speech on the complete sales cycle, reaching out to brands, closing the deal, and everything that's in between, and just giving more background on Pivot Agency and what I do. Yesterday we did a creative storytelling panel that explained matching brands with ensuring that like the assets match the creative team and ensuring everybody's on the same page. So it's boring stuff, but it's very useful for the right people that are interested in marketing, sales, closing deals, and all that fun stuff.
For sure. So you've been at Pivot for what, like 2 years now?
I just hit my 3rd year anniversary in February, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And then I was obviously at eUnited for 6 years before that, and then had my former professional Call of Duty career stint, which is fun.
Right. So. How does it feel now to be kind of less on the esports side and a little bit more on the broader scale side?
It's a great question. I really enjoy it. I like being able to talk to a brand and introduce them to pickleball and disc golf and professional cheerleading and all these other new sports that honestly I wasn't really privy to. It's challenged me to be more receptive, learn new audiences, learn about cricket and all these other sports leagues that I've never really have been introduced to before, or just didn't really take the time to learn.
Yeah.
I'm still doing a lot in gaming and esports. Like that's probably like 80% of my day to day, but I really enjoy getting to do some of these emerging sports deals. Pickleball has been a lot of fun. I've helped bring like 4 or 5 brands to the Disc Golf Pro Tour, which is one of my main accounts at Pivot.
Cool.
So it's been really fun. Just being able to assist and help and just kind of see like, hey, talking to this brand, I actually see their logo on the stream, on the field. They signed other deals because of it. So it's crazy to think that like one conversation can spark so much activity with a sports team or league.
Awesome. Love that. Well, we're going to play a game with some students on the back lot. Does that sound good?
Yes,
awesome.
I'm ready.
Okay. So the game is called the Beanbag Challenge, and this is how it works. We'll have 2 student competitors outside. One is Team Matt, and one is Team Jess.
Oh, let's go, Team Matt.
Can you raise your hand, Team Matt?
Let's go.
Team Matt?
I'm ready.
My left is Team Matt. Right is Team Jess. Green shirt, your Team Jess? What's up? Okay, cool. Let's do it. So the goal is simple. They need to get all of the beanbags from their current spot to the bin at the end of the line. They'll grab one at a time, starting with the furthest, and then delivering it to the bin. Whoever has all of their beanbags in the bin first will be the winner. No throwing beanbags, no tripping your competitor, just good, clean fun. So it's basically a speed test, really.
For Full Sail, this is great. Like we're getting active out here.
Yeah. We're exercising. All right. So if our competitors are ready to play down there, give me a thumbs up. All right. So Matt, whenever you're ready, go ahead and count them in.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Team Jess, I believe in you. Okay,
let's go, Team Matt. Let's go, Team Matt. I like the hustle. Let's go. I think they might be giving us an award for this. That's what Jess told me. So, I don't know. Team Jess might be winning.
There's going to be a second round, so there is a chance for redemption. All right.
Team Jess, Tate.
Yeah.
Team Matt, nice try, man. I appreciate the hustle. That was great.
All right.
It's all good, though.
Oh, they already got prizes. They're getting prizes. They get a keyboard for our winner and I can't
is that
see your prize.
A mice, a headset?
I think it looks like an MSI box.
Hey, that's great. We just gave gaming products to our fans.
There you go. Yeah, it's appropriate for you and I to give away gaming gear, I feel like.
I have to share that too. Like, I love that Full Sail is like giving so much back. I've heard that there's scooters, there's Xboxes, there's a lot of our great partners with the Full Sail esports team, Armada. So it's really cool to see you guys also plug in your connections with Full Sail Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, we love to do that. A student won a PlayStation 5 yesterday on Leslie's segment, and Leslie was like,
Joe. I don't even own a PlayStation.
And Leslie was like, "Can I get one?" We were like, "No, it's not for you." So I love that.
Gosh.
Well, you're a PC gamer, so
I am. I played on Xbox. Sony actually bought out the competitive rights to Call of Duty. So
that's right.
They gifted me a PlayStation 4.
Oh,
that was
very
nice. And then,
we're ready for our next game, Matt.
And then, now on PC, which is fun. So.
All right, so you're going to go ahead and count in our competitors. Give me a thumbs up if y'all are ready down there. Okay,
all right,
cool.
I got this. I know how to count. I graduated from Full Sail. This is really easy. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Team Jess.
All right, Team Matt needs a W here.
Sabotage Team Matt. Come on, we can do it. I guess I'm on the left again.
This one looks pretty close so far.
This is close. I actually think Team Matt might have it. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Actually, I'm rooting for Team Matt here. We got this. Let's go, Team Matt. Let's go.
Whoa.
That's what we needed right
Team
there.
Team Matt took it. Okay.
Whatever you win, bring it up to me, please.
All right.
Congratulations,
we won a
you both.
headset. We won a mouse.
Get it.
Let's go. The peripheral game is
That's what I'm
strong down
talking
there
about.
right now. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Congrats to our winners. Thanks for playing the Beanbag Challenge and the 85 degree.
I had to win tournaments back in the day for those types of prizes. That's kind of I would travel to Chicago and from St. Louis, a 4-hour drive.
Pay for your own flight whatever.
I placed third place at a UMG tournament, and my prize was like a headset or a controller.
Wow.
So like,
well, here at Hall of
times
Fame.
have changed.
Yeah, times have
Wholesale's hooking it
definitely
up.
changed.
That's just awesome.
You should have been a student now.
I know.
All right, coming up in our next segment, Justin Rathbun will once again be forced to play a silly game with us. But first, here's this video about Matt.
You are watching the Armada channel. I might have to redo that one. You are watching the Armada channel. That was probably really bad too. Oh my goodness. Hi, my name is Matthew Potoff, also known as Burns. I'm the GM and VP of Esports at eUnited, and you are watching the Armada channel. Game day rituals or good luck charms while playing is my sweatband. I always have a tennis wristband on my wrist. It just helps my hand feel like more compact, and it's probably just a placebo effect. Every gamer has something that they like to do that thinks they will play better, and a sweatband on my wrist is mine. My favorite part of my gaming setup is probably my entire environment, my office. I have all of my jerseys from when I played behind me. I have pictures from winning Call of Duty champs with my prior teams and Call of Duty. So every time I step into my office, I remember those moments, and it really motivates me to excel on a daily basis, to try to get back to a point where I'm winning or helping a teammate or a player. My favorite time to play is at night, definitely a night owl. I'm not a morning person. Usually after my coffee and my second energy drink, I'm feeling good to play. I still like to think I can get back on and do what I used to, but unfortunately working and managing and traveling, I'm just delusional to think that I could go back and play and have a good time, but definitely a nighttime gamer for me. Definitely leaning on PC more. I really love that you can just plug your controller into a PC now and play. Before that, it was always Xbox or PlayStation. The fact that, these games are so versatile where you can just plug and play, whether you're a M&K player or a controller player, it's just, really cool to see how games have adapted and catered to, all markets. My favorite gaming soundtrack is probably Halo, and I'm not trying to be biased just because we're a partner team, or we just got done at HCS Orlando here. I just feel like the Halo soundtrack is so iconic. I can replay it in my head over and over. Even other musicians and bands that have contributed to Halo, like Breaking Benjamin and a few other bands back in the day, they're just so iconic, and the montages, the culture, and really what Halo drives on the soundtrack side. I have never cosplayed before, but I've been to plenty of anime conventions, and I've seen everyone and how much time they put into their suit and their cosplay. So probably Naruto or someone from the Akaxi, just to try something out and have some fun. Probably wouldn't bring my wife to that event, but I would definitely have some fun doing that on my own. Working with the Full Sail Armada Call of Duty and Halo team has been a true blessing. The students are super passionate, they're on time, they take things extremely serious, they listen to my feedback, everything that I say, I feel they really try to reciprocate that into their gameplay, which means so much to me, because at the end of the day, I'm really just trying to guide and give them fundamental skills that not only can help them right now while they're a student, but also past graduating. It's been a real treat to contribute and try to bring them to new heights.
I was told there would be sparkles. Like, where's the... I'm Mark Diaz, and I know video games. Or do I? Oh, that is Captain America. I love... No, I'm just kidding. That's Spider-Man. That's the first Spider-Man game. Yeah, I played the out of that game. Superhero games weren't really my jam until Spider-Man. That game was another one of those games that the open world was just so engaging to me because it was like everything you were doing was like eating popcorn. Like you couldn't do just one and then stop. It was like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, I can do this here too. Oh, and I can do this while I'm over here. And that's like so uncharacteristic of me when it comes to games. It's really hard for games to get me hooked like that, but that game just nailed it. Assassin's Creed, amazing series, so many games, and I've never played a single one of them. Oh, Grand Theft Auto 5, never played that one either. Turning out I don't think I know games. Oh, COD, Black Ops. I played a ton of Black Ops right after I got out of the Navy when I was living in Augusta, Georgia. That was one game that like I actually got into the multiplayer without like any outside friend group that wanted me to play with them. I just would hop online and play the game because it was so fun by myself. And I would get furious at the people who beat me at that game. I was killed over and over again. They were probably literal children. They danced on my grave. Oh, Animal Crossing. That game came out on the exact same day that Doom Eternal did. And it was like the most unlikely partnership. The social media leading up to the release of Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing at the same time was so hilarious. Ship Isabelle and the Doom Slayer. Like it was adorable and a little disturbing. And I actually bought Animal Crossing and I tried to play it. It just didn't scratch the same itch that Shotgunning Demons did. Doom, the original, like the OG. Like if that game never came out, there's no telling what state the industry would be in right now. It just laid the foundation for almost every great game you could think of, not just in the first-person shooter genre, but like in the immersive sims. The concept of a game engine didn't exist in the way that it does now until Doom came along. Yeah, that's the granddaddy of them all. The Last of Us, another great game. It was genre-defining in 2013. It was one of the best narrative-focused games that ever came out. I think between it and like Mass Effect, no one had told a better story in games. It just nailed the atmosphere that it was going for. It is the stairway to heaven of video games. Well, I guess that's a perfect score for round one. No big deal. Let's see how I do in round two. Level 2.
This Hall of Fame week, the gaming community is taking over Armada HQ with Hall of Game LAN Party. From casual competition and shared play to discovering student-created games and connecting with fellow gamers, grads, and faculty, the 3-day takeover brings classic LAN energy to the Full Sail community. Drop in, squat up, and see what Hall of Game is all about.
Yeah, shirt. I'm Mark Diaz, and I know video games. Or do I? Halo, excellent game. Pioneered first-person shooters on the console. Like, well, I wouldn't say it pioneered them, but it kind of perfected them. It brought first-person shooters into the mainstream on the console. There had been some games that had done it successfully before, like GoldenEye for Nintendo 64, but Halo was the first to really land big. Oh man, I got a good story about Halo 3. When it came out, it was in 2007, and I was stationed at Pearl Harbor. I was supposed to be at work the next day. Muster at 7:30, but I had to go to this training at 8:30. So I just went straight to the training at 8:30, and apparently there was chaos because I wasn't at muster, and everyone thought that I'd stayed up all night playing Halo 3 and just completely missed going to work the next day. I got yelled at for that one. Portal. Dude, that is one of the best of all time. Top 5 of all time, easily. It's like Super Mario Brothers or Resident Evil. It's just one of those games that takes a really simple premise and nails everything about it. It builds a whole game around a very simple mechanic. It does it in ways you don't expect. Every level you encounter something new, despite the simplicity of the mechanic. Excellent game. Top 5. Red Dead Redemption. That's another game that came out when I was in Hawaii. Poured a ton of hours into that game. Excellent story. You know, I never played any of the Grand Theft Auto games, but Red Dead Redemption is my jam. I loved that game. Wii Sports? I never owned a Wii, so yeah, I think I played the bowling in my roommate's room in the barracks in Hawaii, and that was pretty much it. We didn't really get along all that well. That was like our bonding moment. World of Warcraft. Oh my God. I wouldn't say I lost years of my life to World of Warcraft, but I played so much World of Warcraft when I was in Hawaii. I had a good friend group that would play together. I didn't get into the original as the original World of Warcraft. I played the tail end of Burning Crusade and a ton of Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath of the Lich King is where I peaked in World of Warcraft. In fact, my guild was one of the first 10-man guilds to down Sindragosa on our server. No big deal, you know, it's whatever. Oh, Jesus, Skyrim. Man, okay, so I do have a good Full Sail related story about Skyrim. Skyrim came out November 11th, 2011. I bought it the day it came out. I went to the Target on University Boulevard the morning it came out and bought it. It came out the first month of my classes at Full Sail, and it was such a good game, I thought about dropping out because I didn't think I could make a better game than this. I was like, it's the perfect game has been made. Like, what point is there for me to even try? But I ended up sticking with it. Turns out I can make some good games too. Yes. Platinumed it.
Oh my goodness, it's the Shore Karaoke Tent. Did you miss karaoke last night? Don't worry. You can go to the Shore Tent and bust out a song. I'm going to sing a song maybe later. I don't know. How's everybody out there doing? Hi, friends. Walking around at the creative experience, look up at the big Jumbotron. You'll see yourself on it. And then you can wave and say, hi, Mom. No? Nobody? Oh, hi, look, you're waving. Hello. Are you having a good day? Can I get a thumbs up if everybody's having a good day? Oh, hello, everyone. It's a beautiful afternoon. Is it hot out there? I'm upstairs in the air conditioning. It's pretty cool. No, but hey, it's Tom Todia. Hey, Tom. Do you guys know who Tom Todia is? He's a Hall of Famer. Say hi to him. He's pretty cool. He's an audio guy. We're having a great time up here at the studio. Hall of Fame is in full swing, and I want to see what you're up to. Be sure to use the hashtag FullSailHof throughout the week and share your Hall of Fame experience. And don't forget to connect with us and follow along on social at Full Sail, on Instagram, TikTok, X, and anywhere else you like to get your social media on. Here's some posts from some students enjoying Hof Week. It looks like they've got some triple hatting. Not one hat, not two hat, but 3 hats. Want to see your posts on Hall of Fame Live? Use the hashtag, tag us on social, or scan the QR code on screen to share your Hof Week. I want to see your post. Oh, it's Armada HQ. So pretty in there. I know the guy who designed it. Not a big deal. Hall of Fame Week wouldn't be possible without all of our incredible sponsors. So thank you so much for sponsoring this week and giving our dreamers a space to create. Thanks to Adobe Creator Lab, Focusrite, Shure, Sony, Universal Audio, and everyone else who sponsors Hall of Fame. We couldn't do it without you. Now let's check in with our on-location host and Weird Jess writer doppelganger. It's Jessica. Hey, it's me, Jessica, and I'm here at the student stage out at the Creative Experience. And has anybody seen Dr. Dave Franco? Hey, it's Dr. Dave. How you doing? Good to see you.
Happy Hall of Fame 2026. Hall of Fame Week. Very excited.
This scooter here, students can win this scooter at the block party, right?
Yes, we're giving away 3 scooters at the block party alone. We did a big Hall of Fame kickoff party. We gave out raffle tickets to win one of the scooters, but we're giving away this scooter and another scooter after the cosplay that takes place from 5 to 6 p.m. in the block party with free pizza, prizes, fun galore, starting at 6 and lasting at least until 9 p.m.
At least. Okay, we might party into the night. Winter Park's going to have to come over and tell us to turn down the volume, huh?
They usually do, Jess. They usually do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Dave. And if you see Dr. Dave around, make sure you say, I really want that scooter.
You can win it. Just show up and have some fun. Meet your friends and have a great time at the block party and cosplay party starting at 5 p.m.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to send it back to Jess up at the desk. Bye-bye. Wow, Dr. Davis, so cool. That other chick, I don't know. There's the student stage. We'd love to see a performance. That's where our block party is going to be this evening. Our cosplay contest is going to be such a good time. So make sure you make your way out there and get a good spot. It's going to get crowded. And then you're going to be like, I'm mad I'm in the back. Why did we wait until 8 to go? It's your fault. Get there early. Early is on time. Okay? He's the A1 and sound engineer for the 11-time Tony Award-winning Broadway musical Hamilton, with credits on Broadway shows including In the Heights and Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, an inductee into the Hall of Fame and the Cinema Audio Society. Please welcome my favorite guest to play games with. It's Justin Rathbun.
Hi, Jess.
Hi, Justin. Good. How are you? Yeah.
Good to be back again.
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll see.
We were just saying, you've been here every Hoff since your induction.
Yes,
You don't miss it.
four in a row now. It's been wonderful, and it's good to come back every year and be able to spend some time with you, the student body. It's good to answer questions, be able to meet with you, and answer silly Hamilton questions and Hamilton trivia and everything.
Love that. And we always make you play a ridiculous game. You're our guinea pig.
Why not?
When we go through the games in our pre-production, we're like, okay, what's the most ridiculous one? Let's give it to Justin.
And I'll do it.
Yeah, he's a good sport, and we love that. We love that here.
Yeah.
So your week's been going good. Have you done any sessions or talked to any students?
Week's been going wonderfully so far. On Monday, we did a little seminar at the live building across the street at Forsyth.
Nice.
For a lot of the live event production students, involving some of the theater software for the console that we use on Hamilton. I was able to kind of get into the weeds a little bit more with the with those students on how to program theater software and how that software works, and able to spend some time also over there with Bob Cowan, who's also a Hall of Famer, talking about some of the ways he works with Metallica and his group. And it's amazing to be able to spend some time with those guys and hear their stories as well and how they deal with artists. And then yesterday we did a big live lab over at the venue with a live band and a lot of students involved as well, and produced a big show over there, and it was a blast.
Love that.
And I think there was some footage that circulated around, but had a band called the Velcro Pygmies that played on stage, and they were 80s hair band.
Yeah, we had Brian on yesterday, and he gave us a little sneak peek of.
It was awesome. We had so much fun. So,
love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So we're going to play a game because, as I said, that's what we do.
Yeah, sure,
that's what Justin and I do.
What isn't a game around here, right?
All right.
Learning is a game, too.
That's right. This can be educational in some way. The game is called Word on the Beat. And here is how it's going to work. Justin and I will each take turns trying to stay on beat with the images as they appear on screen. It may sound easy, but trust me, it's harder than it looks. As tribute, I'll go first.
I've never played this before.
Yeah, me
Just
either.
Bring it. I'm done. As full disclosure. Oh boy.
Okay, so are you ready to start?
Sure.
As ready as we'll ever be. All right.
Why not?
Let's play Word on the Beat.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to go first. I hear it first, and then I do it. Okay. All right. I'm so ready.
Say the word on the beat. All right. Okay.
The ballerina. Fairy, 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 Gary, 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 Gary. Fairy, Gary, fairy, Gary, cherry, 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 fairy. Cherry, fairy, cherry, fairy, Harry, cherry, Harry, cherry. Dairy, dairy, Harry, Harry, fairy, Gary, cherry, cherry. Thanks. Cherry, dairy, fairy, Gary, Gary, cherry, Harry, dairy. Whoa.
I am not going to be good at this. This is not going to go well.
I think we're only going to do a couple rounds.
Holy moly. Okay. All right.
I believe in you, Justin.
I mean, I have to identify the picture and make sure that things like you were able to identify it and rhyme it. So that's the key. Okay. Okay. Well,
I think we made them easy for you.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to. No kid gloves. Come on. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this. Oh. Fela. Okay. Fela. Phil. Fela, Phil. Fairy, Fela.
It's a fish.
Fairy, Fela. Film, fairy, film, fairy. 5, film, Fela, Phil. Fairy. Fairy 5, Phala, Phil, Fairy, Film 5.
This is so hard. You did really good. It was a fish, not a fairy, but we gave it to you.
Was it a fish?
It was a goldfish.
It looked like the same thing that you had.
It had a similar shape, to be fair.
Okay, I need.
All right,
better
listen.
glasses, apparently.
We have to go get our eyes checked after this. Justin and I have an eye doctor appointment after this. Okay.
It's really bright
I'm
outside
ready.
today. I don't know if anybody else has been outside. It's really bright. I'm going to blame it on that. And it's the
really
lights and
bright.
everything.
All
I'm
right.
going to blame everything except myself. I'm just saying that.
Okay, let's see. Oh, it's Bert! It's Bert! It's my dog.
Oh.
Bert book, bat, Bert. Bat, Bert. Bob, bat, Bob. I forgot his name. Ben, Bob, Bert, book, bat. This is so hard. Bat, Ben, Bert, book, bat, Bob, Ben. It was Bert.
I didn't even know who it was. So
It was my dog, and I
Right?
didn't know they were going to do that. Made me so happy.
At least one of us. Okay.
All right, we've got another one
Here we
for you,
go.
Justin.
Okay, great. Let's do it. Okay. Is it making me? It's still too early for this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it? What is it? Ball. That's a ball? Ball, bagel. Burn. This is not fair. Bill, Burr, ball, bagel, Eliza. I don't know. That's all I see is Eliza on the screen. Yes.
Okay, now we do one together.
Okay.
I believe in us. All right.
When I was originally shown what this was going to be, there was like a chicken on the screen and a duck on the screen. And they're showing me advanced pictures of Eliza holding a letter on fire, and I'm supposed to guess burn in half a second? Are you kidding me? Are you serious?
No, I didn't make
James,
this
are you
up.
serious? Eris? Okay.
James is saying that we love you very much.
Okay, I love you all too. I do.
All right, we're doing it
No
together.
more backstage tours for you. Okay.
No, I still
No,
want
I'm
to
kidding.
come to Amazon.
I'm kidding. Yes. Okay.
Shrek.
Sail.
Okay. Shrek, sail. Shrek, sail. Sheep. Shrek. Oh my god. Sheep, Shrek. Shell. I thought that was deli meat. Shrug, shell. Shrek, sail. Sheep, shrug, Shrek.
Shrug. Huh?
We did it.
We did it.
I think we won.
We did something.
Yeah. We certainly
We made a thing. We made content.
Thanks for the horn, Rocco. Appreciate that.
You guys are awesome.
All right. Wow. I think I hated that very much. Thanks for always being such a good sport, Justin. Let's show them a video.
Honest to God, I want to put together. Can somebody please put together like clips of the last 4 years and
like
send
a
me
supercut.
a supercut, and
Yes.
just send them to me, please, because I want to give these to my kids someday.
Oh my
and they're
gosh,
gonna be
yes.
like, what?
Cool. We're building
What?
someone a task and work front
Yes,
right now.
please.
As we speak.
Perfect. Giving people jobs. That's what I'm doing.
All right, Justin. Thank you so much for being such a good sport.
Yes.
Let's show them a video of you being super professional now. Does
Okay,
that sound
perfect.
good?
Sounds good. Thanks, y'all.
For me, the 2.5 hours is the zen part of my day. When I get behind that desk, mixing the show is the easy part. It's dealing with all the outside stuff that is the most challenging. As the head audio engineer on Hamilton, I'm responsible for many, many things. I really feel like getting it right, right in front of you is very important, and it's a big challenge for me. But if the audience is great, then you're still going to have a great show. So there's a lot of variables to making it all work and making that magic happen. My first experience with sound was back when I had first picked up the guitar. I got to the point where we had played
several different gigs, and the sound was never right. I realized that there was a void there where there were a lot of people that were out there doing live sound that really didn't know what they were doing. So at that point, I started investigating into schools for that and came across Full Sail. I started in the recording arts degree, and I was over there. We were over there for a while, and I was seeing some of the show production guys doing all the setup and tear down and all the special event live sound, live production things, and I was like, this is what I want to do. So it was at that point that I decided to transition into the show production department. Back in the early 2000s, Acme Sound Partners was a fairly large name as far as sound design here in New York City. They called and said, well, we need somebody to go take over the Dirty Rotten Scoundrels first national tour. Would you be interested in doing that? And this is a golden opportunity to work with these guys, and I still, to this day, do not regret going back out on the road with them, because it has really led to where I am today.
I met Justin when he was hired to mix for my old partnership. I was a member of Acme Sound Partners, but we really got to know each other when he came back to New York and took over on the Broadway musical In the Heights. And that's where Justin and I became real colleagues and compatriots in making theater here in the city.
I was one of the few people that he kind of took along with him when he decided to go off in his own direction. And that was amazing, and I'm kind of honored that he would even consider me for such things. He's great. He was at my wedding. He was there when I proposed to my wife. He's been there for a lot of important milestones in my professional career.
Engineers don't get a lot of opportunity to be honored. There's not a lot of awards for live sound engineering. It just doesn't exist. So that, Full Sail has found a way to recognize him and how important he's been to the industry in his relatively young career, and has been part of so many big Broadway productions and has done so much good work in such a short time. I think feels really appropriate and exciting. And yeah, it was thrilling to hear about that.
Being able to create something that's only going to happen once, and in that moment in time, if you can get it just right, if that millisecond time you can just get it right, is so rewarding to me. And whether it be a reaction of a laugh, whether it be a reaction of a cry, whether it be a reaction of, oh God, what just happened? Generating that emotional response literally at your fingertips is kind of amazing to me.
Full Sail's Hall of Fame companion app keeps students, faculty, staff, and grads up to date on all things happening during Hall of Fame week. Track presentation schedules, learn more about returning alumni, and keep up with special events happening across campus. Online students are welcome to come to campus and experience Hall of Fame week alongside the Full Sail community. Campus students are required to attend, so be sure to check in daily at the designated check-in locations.
Make sure you download the Hall of Fame app to keep up with sessions and presentations, special events, and everything else happening on campus. Just head to the App Store or Google Play Store and search Full Sail to get the app now. Wow, so easy. She's a theater and film professional and a producer for PBS's Great Performances. Please welcome to the show Hall of Fame 12 inductee Stephanie Dawson.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Very good. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm doing very well. I'm here. This is a magical place. So every time I come back, it's just kind of reconnecting to the energy. And Gary popped in my session earlier and just said hello, and it was really, really special.
Oh, I love that. What was your session today?
LGBTQIA+. Come on, community.
Okay.
Say shout out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Absolutely.
We're all about inclusivity here at Full Sail.
And community, and I was encouraging everybody to meet each other because it can be lonely out there. So you're in a room of folks who are supportive, and so it was really special.
Yeah, I always try to tell people we are a school full of introverts, so everyone is like you. We all have the same social battery limit. So make some friends. I guarantee you they will not be as overbearing as you might fear they'll be.
And meet some people who are not like you.
Yeah,
you might expand. You might find things that blossom parts of you and your spirit that you didn't know were there. And so, yeah, absolutely.
Are you working on anything fun right now outside of great performances?
Well, on Great Performances, I'm working on a show called Suffs.
Okay.
It was a Broadway musical about the effort that women took for over 80 years to get the vote. And it's written by Shayna Taub, who is a monumental talent, and she also starred as Alice Paul. So that's going to come to your PBS station on May 8th.
Oh.
As soon as I get it done. Yeah, what am I doing? There's a couple scripts that I've written, some projects I'm trying to get off the ground as a documentary. I'm looking forward to igniting in some good ways this year. So a lot of stuff.
And then, yeah, you've got a couple buckets there.
And then personal life, just trying to, keep the people I love close and keep nurturing the relationships that I have and be open to new relationships. I'm meeting a lot of great people here, and reconnecting with the other Hall of Famers I just feel like I'm here also, like, on bated breath, listening to everybody and learning about the great things that they do. So yeah, it's all around just trying to let whatever the universe is giving me, just try to receive it.
Love that. Well, are you ready to play a game with some students on the backlot?
Sure. What are we doing?
We're going to play hot potato.
Okay.
It's pretty simple, right? We all know hot potato.
How do we play hot potato with them?
We guide them through the experience. We are like their spiritual guides in this game of hot potato.
All right, hey, how y'all doing?
So we've got 6 students outside. They'll be passing around the beanbag. Okay. Stephanie, when you say hot potato, whoever's holding the beanbag is out. So you are the conductor of the game.
I get to say who gets out. Let me see.
If you are knocked out, please stay in the circle with your hands behind your back, so the other players have to pass the bag around you or over you. You want to kind of make it a little more complicated for them.
Oh my goodness.
The final person standing will be dubbed the winner.
Okay.
So Stephanie, whenever you're ready, count us in.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, and then whenever you want to shut that down.
I want to be fair sometimes.
Yeah, she's closing her eyes so she can't see where the potato currently is. I love an honor code, yeah.
And hot potato. Oh. I like how you try to throw it. No, it was in your hands. Yes, there you go. Okay. All right. And 3, 2, 1, go.
I like
hot potato. Nope. I said hot potato in the hat, the cream colored hat. Okay. And ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Hot potato. Oh, yes, in the gray long sleeved. Gray long sleeve. Yeah, I'm saying who was throwing it at the time. So gray long sleeves, you're out. So we got 3 left, and we're down to the final 3. And 3, 2, 1, go. Hot potato. Oh, white shirt.
Stephanie's not giving them any credit. It's you.
Absolutely, in the white shirt. Okay, all right, we got 2 left. 2 left. Black shirt with the pink and with the sunglasses. So 2 left. All right, and 3, 2, 1, go. Hot potato. We have a winner. I'm sorry, in the glasses, you are out. Black shirt with the pink, you are the winner.
Yay, he won. He won a Dell 27-inch monitor.
Well, I hope you are able to use that in your career. Oh my goodness, that is fantastic.
What did everybody else get? What'd
Everybody
you get?
got a hat.
Oh!
All right, happy Hall of Fame, y'all. Thank you for playing. I know it's hot out there.
Stephanie should host the show. She's really good at this.
You're very sweet. Oh, man. Thank y'all for being good sports, because I know it's weird to have somebody from on high, like, just the voice kind of says things.
Well, you won them a monitor, so I'm sure they're not too
Oh,
mad.
my goodness. Yeah.
Congratulations.
I really hope that's helpful, and good luck to you, black shirt in the pink writing.
Yeah. Well, that was a blast.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming and hanging out.
Thanks for having me. It's
You're
really,
always a great guest.
Oh, y'all are very sweet. And thank you so much, everybody.
Cool. Now let's go check out this video about what got Stephanie inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you. So I am a producer for Great Performances, which is a long-running show on PBS. We focus on ballet, opera, orchestra. I don't know what's always going to come at me. I have an idea, but I'm dealing with things as they come at me, and that's the growth, that's the experience, that's kind of the joy and the excitement of it. Film and television was not something I felt could be a career. I was doing the thing that my parents wanted me to do. I had a good job. And when I decided to leave that job and go to Full Sail, like Stephanie in movies, like, of course, everyone was very happy for me, but also kind of envious that I had the courage to take that leap and to pursue my dream. Right after I graduated from Full Sail, I thought I should stay. But eventually my dream, my eye was on moving to New York City because I really loved independent film, and that was the mecca for independent film. Then I started gigging and got into the industry in New York and slowly worked my way through reality TV, through commercials, through feature films, through television series, just kind of gaining new skills with each new job. When I tell my parents or friends and family that I worked in film and television, they had like a vague idea. They like, oh yeah, maybe you do this, maybe you do that. Like no one ever really had a clear idea. But when I said I worked for House Hunters International, suddenly everybody was like, oh, I love that show. And they totally knew what I was talking about. It was a great career experience because Damon Gambudo was the executive producer of the show when I joined the show. And he allowed me to get my first producing credit. He also, when I applied for the producer position of House Hunters International and I did not get it, I shared with him that I was disappointed, and he told me that I didn't need that position. Somewhere else was more worthy of my skills as a producer, and I was so surprised to hear him say that. I don't know what I thought he was gonna say, but when he said that, I immediately called my parents. I was like, Damon said I could do better somewhere else.
The reason I told her no is because I felt like that position was a trap. I hope she understood what my motivation was, which was to say, I believe in you so much that I don't want to give you this thing that feels like, in the short term, career advancement, because I think it's actually going to derail you from becoming your fully expressed self professionally.
It really gave me the courage to leave House Hunters and to be more of an actor in my own journey. Like I was going from gig to gig, and if somebody called, I would take the gig. Somebody else called, I would take the gig. Realizing that, oh no, you're better than this. It really let me know that, oh wait, I should be doing jobs that allow me to do more than the thing that I know how to do. Like I should be growing.
Something that's incredibly exciting to me about Stephanie receiving this honor is that it's affirming to see that an award such as this acknowledges somebody so deeply deserving. I'm so proud to know that Full Sail is acknowledging Stephanie and her achievements professionally. It was an honor that I felt like was so deeply deserved by somebody that I think so highly of.
It's been a wonderful 2 days here with you on Hall of Fame Live, but that's it for us here in the studio. We hope you enjoy the rest of your Hall of Fame, and we'll see you next year. But stick around because we've got another session coming up after this.
Of different reactions, and many of us do think how we belong as part of that journey. What does that mean for us as creatives? It's something that, it's a very incredible time to be a part of because it's definitely brought with it a lot of momentum, a lot of great opportunity. And hopefully through the things that we have been doing today, we can start to untangle some of those things that we may have been wondering about. We may start to demystify what it can really mean or truly means and what we need to be doing today to make sure that we are on top of that wave, that we can ride it and as creatives continue to grow and flourish and do great things together as such. So as part of my background, I've been a part of the entertainment business. I am involved not only into television and all the major advertising channels and things that have to do with marketing and production, but as of late, we've also been very involved with everything that has to do with artificial intelligence. We're actually right now a part of an effort that hopes to bring artificial intelligence worldwide to the broader enterprise scope. And as part of that, a lot of what we've been doing is to really try to keep up with everything that's happening. It's been a challenge because honestly, month after month, we see new developments, we see new things, and we see a lot of contrasting opinions, right? So when we see and where we are today is that we see technology has definitely accelerated the creative workflows today. And what we're noticing is that there's not only been a lot of contrasting opinions on what it means, but also what we see here is that we're seeing that the roles are not necessarily disappearing as we thought that they would, but rather there's a shift as to how things are being applied to the internal roles. But what that brings is a lot of great opportunities, because there are opportunities for growth. There's opportunities to not only apply what's out there, but to really understand how everything that's currently there means for us as creatives. So where are we today? Today we're at a moment where, if we think back, I mean, forget the last few months, you go back 2-3 years, we were in a very different landscape of where we are today. And what we see today, if you guys have been up to date with some of the latest developments, generative AI has grown exponentially. There's things now, and you may have seen, for example, the Will Smith spaghetti eating video that we had a couple years ago to where it is today. We see all the advancements on image creation. We see advancements in video creation, but that transcends even more so to actual pipelines that do not have to do necessarily with creative assets, but that have to do with optimizing workflows, how we're making things be better, quicker, more efficient, to organize, to create. And it's been used across industries. We're talking that it's not only being used across legal, it's being used across operations, finance, and all these different areas where they have found ways to, create and improve the outcomes, make them very quick. And the truth of this is that there's been a lot of polarization. There's folks that are really happy and excited with it, and there's folks that are very, very against it because there's a lot of fear surrounding it, and there's a lot of things too that are certain issues that they come to the table that rely on beliefs and things that usually we've seen traditionally, and as we'll explore today, you'll see how this is not something new. Historically, we've been through that. So what do we have today? We have basically two core groups in the spectrum, right? Let's think like we have, in one end, people that think that AI is making this huge catalyst of change and basically will replace creatives, they'll replace jobs, we're all gonna be out of a job, things, won't be able to move forward after. And then they have the other side of the spectrum that basically the opposite, that it changes nothing. It's just here as, no real meaningful change through it. So what we have through that is that both sides are wrong, right? The biggest issue is that I think folks and groups today are seeing it in a very polarized way where the reality is that we're living in between the spectrum of what's really happening. And what we need to do with here is just, instead of really changing or asking ourselves questions that are so dramatic and polar, we need to just dive into that spectrum and think, like, me as a creative professional, what do I need to do to thrive in this environment? And this is it's really key. Within that spectrum, and when we come to think about everything and all the different solutions that AI has to offer, what does that mean for me as a creative, as a professional, where I'm up to right now, about to say graduate or about to enter my first role, my first gig, and then I see that the systems are in many different ways doing the things that I'm learning how to do, right? And we see that now how like studios, agencies are able to produce a massive amount of outputs and a massive amount of ideas in a very short amount of time. So where does that leave us? We basically live right now in a world that has fundamentally changed the way that we produce our work, right? We see now how, for any given idea, any given concept that you may have in mind, there is a very quick way to make a very quick output. But if we think back in time and we just leave all of this change, all of this momentum for a second, let's go back a little bit and realize that we've actually been here before in many different ways. And this is something that transcends even back in history since the very first creatives were here and how things have been evolving. So think about back then, and some of you may not even remember, right? And maybe I'm getting really old. But the idea here is that before, now you're able to edit a whole video very quickly with your video clips. You just mix and match, go in and out, mix through layers. Before that wasn't the case. You used to have tapes to go in and mix them. When the non-linear editing software came out, it was a very big deal. And you always had this segment of folks that kind of had their views against and for it. That same thing happened with CGI. You know, like we came to see how movies came to evolve from practical visual effects to, for example, Jurassic Park, when they came out with those first little hints of CGI and how well it performed. You've seen that too with game engines right now, like Epic, like Unity. That they're not only being used for gaming and optimizing the workflows that before took so much work to put together, from gaming engines to be able to create wonderful games that deploy on every device everywhere. But now it's not even being used just for gaming. Now it's also being used for things like real estate, previs, like everything that has to do with creating new things. And what you see overall is that every time we have something that has been so disruptive, right? I could keep going on, thinking for Photoshop, back to them, like we could just go back to traditional artwork, but there's always been an idea where you've had those polar opposites, but in reality what you find is that there's a really big shift to where you have now creative possibilities expanded to everything that you can do. So here's where we start getting a little bit more on the matter of what's happening today. And what we're really seeing that's happening is that you do have the reality where AI is accelerating production, right? But what we need to not forget is that us as humans are the ones that are giving it meaning. It is incapable of giving things meaning. At the same time, it can create and give you so many different possibilities for you to explore. But guess what? We're the ones that are giving value to everything that's happening. And that's where there's the true power of the things that we are actually putting now to work and how we can incorporate it, which is what I'm going to be exploring a little bit deeper. So what we find today, and we're finding this not only at the professional level and creative agencies and companies, is that today teams are able to explore dozens and hundreds of outputs. Before, that used to be the bottleneck. So when you have all of this selection, all of this criteria, what matters, right? How we dive deep and realize where can I make a true meaningful change with everything that's out there so that I can make it better. So what we find is that whereas before the issue was to come up and create all of these outputs, today the new bottleneck that we're facing and that what we're living through is that we are finding a bottleneck on judgment, right? On trying to identify and describe what makes a concept or a product great. And that's really big because we can't just go and push something out there without checking. We've seen that happen in the industry, or even in deeper, like more serious things where the outputs have not been reviewed, they have not been checked, and then big problems have happened, right? We also have a capability now and a bottleneck that has to rely on directing what's out there, meaning shaping what we're building, making sure that things are actually going in the way that we see, which is the vision that we can bring, and just overall having a little bit of creative clarity on what's being put out there just to ensure that what you're building is actually cohesive and makes sense. So if we were to kind of narrow it down, and this is something that really boils down to the things that we create today that make something really great, that makes a piece of content really amazing, is that empathy, cultural understanding, narrative intuition, that's where we will always remain indispensable, at least for now. But the goal here is the goal here is that we do need to know, and this is where things get also really interesting. There's some things that have not changed. There are some things that have not changed. And these things go in line with things that require the level of professionalism, creativity, and visual quality and consistency that creative teams can bring to the table. These are things as well that today AI tools are not able of truly replicating just yet, which is what? You need to have technical precision. You need to have established pipelines, established goals as to how a piece of creative, and I'm talking in general because this applies not only to things like film or gaming or music, all of these require for you to have a certain standard on things. Your workflows have to be in place, the direction that we spoke before, that has to be in place, and your assets, more than anything, have to be consistent. Up to today, and the way the generative models work, they all work through a basis where it's really hard to replicate exactly what was being done before. The reason for this is because of how they intuitively work, and everything is done through basically prediction and models that put together information that points in the direction of what the model thinks is working correctly. So being able to stay consistent requires very careful, meticulous prompting, crafting, and making sure that things are kind of on. And even then, you have fluctuations that you're just not able to just push through. So what you have here is that at this stage, the AI production process is largely still contained to pre-production, to research, and to that portion of the production cycle before you actually start building a product. There's another consideration that's just as important, which is the legal side of things. And this is just as important too, because this is where right now there's a really gray area as to how this content can be done and applied. And the key with this is that basically we're going through a transition now where the content that gets created by generative AI models is not able to be copyrighted as is, because it's been determined that there needs to be considerable change by humans to ensure that it can work for that. And the key with that is that now you have a whole contingency on the commercial level where you're not able to actually put that to work in a way that you could commercialize the content. There's other things as well that have to do with not only licensing, what we were talking before about brand consistency, and overall it's just the IP rights, your intellectual property rights, where you just cannot, let's say that you build a character with an AI platform, you can't register it. So what that means, and this applies to many platforms where you come in and you're working with them, and then they tell you, we could, like the outputs we could generate could be used by other users. You kind of are foregoing the rights to be able to register that, right? And that's really huge, especially when you come and think about not only, say, your own idea to create or build a project, but also when you start thinking about higher up the chain with the bigger studios, bigger production houses, where it's a big deal, because you could be creating a character or a concept that now everyone has access to, and commercially speaking, it's just not feasible. So there are certain limitations in place today that we need to consider as we go on and build on all of these models and things that are just something to really think about. So the goal as to how we continue growing and building with the new wave of AI and what it means for us is that we need to basically change the way that we are as creatives, right? The way we are going to do this is not just by riding the wave and see where things takes us, but we have to really come and step out a little bit and change along with the world to ensure that we are meeting the expectations of what is going to be required of us as creatives. And that includes being able to incorporate what we consider are like the three main pillars of what composes what is like the modern creative person, right? There's three things, and three main things, which are craft. You need to have a pillar composed of technical literacy, and then creative judgment as well. And the goal with this, yeah, there you go, that wasn't working, is that we need to understand that first and foremost, our craft, our passion, what we're doing, what we're learning, what you guys are learning every single day in the classroom has a lot of value. It matters, and it matters deeply. And not because it cannot be outputted or not because you are not able to generate all of these things, but what you need to do is change the lens a little bit to understand that what you're building has a lot of power. And that artistic discipline, that technical execution that you bring to the table, the way that you know how to use your tools, the way you know how to bring that and materialize that, the attention to detail you can bring to something, and all the craft that you can do to create a basic piece of creative work, that part is irreplaceable. You have to have that component for a couple of reasons. One is because innately you have something that AI does not have, which is taste. That taste is something that gets crafted through many years of work, many years of developing your craft, of being exposed to great art, to be exposed to things that make you better at what you do. And that you need to combine now with, this is the part that needs to be added to your toolbox, your vision, the way that you come and make things better. It's technical literacy. Today, what we need to do as creatives is we need to expand from where we are, and we need to make sure that we can start having a broader vision that brings us closer aligned to making sure we know what's out there. We cannot afford to turn our backs to it because it's coming, and it's something that the industry is widely adopting in many different levels and degrees, but that invariably, if we turn our backs to it, we're going to be in trouble because it's coming, and once you're out in the world, you're going to be faced with a lot of different vectors coming with a lot of different options because they've been making use of tools that actually improve their productivity, improve the speed rates of the pipeline with which we're able to generate new things. And you're going to have to be able to meet that. So how do we do that? So we need to expand the way that we see things. We need to not, and we cannot be siloed or be enclosed anymore to just learning the craft that we want to learn or the specific skill set or the specific tool, and actually step out, fly higher, and start learning what these tools can do, and start learning how to communicate with these platforms, and start learning what they can do and the extent. The only thing you're going to get from that is such a widening, opening of your vision, of your world. And when you mix that with your passion, with your craft, with the things you know how to do great, what that's going to create is a new kind of creative that is now going to be ready and is going to be upfront and up to par to what is expected today. So we need to mix 2 and 2 so that we can arrive to the third pillar, which is the creative judgment that you can bring to that. When you bring 2 and 2 together, you think about the craft that you have, then you think about the technical literacy, but no one can give it direction if it's not you. And that's a lot of power and great power to have, because I could make 1,000 different outputs very quickly in a matter of minutes. But that doesn't mean any of them are great or that they should be great. There's going to be a very great difference if I put something out that doesn't look good, that is not up to standard to what a client or company may want. And there is a big difference in knowing what should go there. And that's something that no one can really replicate. It's something that us as creatives are the only ones who could really guide it and say how things should outcome from that. So back again, when we think about it, AI today can give us a wide realm of possibilities, but it's really only us who can give it meaning. And that's huge, particularly when we think about it in the creative world and the things that we have done to be where we are today, the things that took us, for example, here, where you're sitting today, that passion that fuels what we do is really great in determining the outcome of how things will go and the next products that will go on and succeed and do great things with it. So ideally, what we're trying to think is, as we move forward, and as we incorporate these tools and we try to embrace what we're doing so that we can be up to par with the expectations of the industries today, is that we need to really think ourselves as systems thinkers, as systems thinkers. And the idea with this is that we need to understand that, yes, it is very likely that we're going to see shifts in the world, in the professional world, where we'll find studios, for example, perhaps shrinking on personnel, or we're going to find, for example, a difference into the roles that get hired for these, where it may not be necessarily anymore like a particular, for instance, like a designer role, right? Like what we're going to think maybe is going to be something more composed like a systems designer role, right? And this is going to be for someone who is able to communicate and be able to give the right set of directions and instructions to create the right outputs so that whatever is being put out there, that person is able to generate it, create the better outcomes, and go on and so forth. And what we're finding overall through this is that we're going to be a part of a creative ecosystem where, yes, you know, things are different now, but different is not bad. Different is great because now what you have is the capability of not only vastly improving your production pipeline and your times to be able to create different concepts to see if they work, maybe they not, but also now you're going to be very well prepared into something that will really set you apart from someone who would just be focused into having a very particular set of ideals and I'm just going to do this. And once again, from all the different areas that we've seen and as we have explored before, it's something that we have seen happening because every time there's change, you're going to find an equal amount of pushback from different groups and we just need to be very smart about it because the time and the way we see these systems evolve and grow, it's going really fast. We kind of have to keep up. So, what are we looking at? back to what I was referencing here, the goal here is that we can start just thinking a little bit bigger, right? We need to think bigger. We need to know that we're evolving with it. It's a very exciting time, but we do need to understand that what we're looking at today may change in the future, right? We may not, and that's a name change, a role change, whatever, right? But the goal here is that we need to just understand that we need to be well-rounded. We cannot be stuck anymore into like a particular given set role or specialty where like, oh no, I just do modeling. Oh no, I'm just a rigger. Oh no, no. We need to really, as professionals, power up and become much more willing to learn more, to be more well-rounded, learn other things, even if they're not our core. Because out there in the real world, that's what's gonna really make a difference. Where you come in and you're like, yes, you know, I'm a modeler, but hey, I also know how to use all the platforms that have to do on creating, you know, the early stages of a model process that can bring us back, and I can really define it because I have developed my skill, I've worked on all of this, and it makes a difference. And that's the difference that's gonna determine later down what creative succeeds and moves forward on bigger and greater projects. And through this too, through those different types of roles and degrees that we may have at hand, what we do have is the opportunity to continue growing through that. Today we see already, and we hear it everywhere, when you hear the concept of AI, it's something that's picked up a lot, and it's being picked up at varying degrees. You have companies that are full-on investing into creating new platforms that you can communicate with. Some companies are layering from those platforms to create new solutions or interfaces that can help you communicate with them. And then you also have a third degree of companies that are just kind of like trying to integrate it so that they can just squeeze in the AI name to it to be a part of it. But all in all, it's something that we just need to continue growing with. In our particular industries, all of ours here, all creatives, we will be faced with it in one form or another. Every single area and every single degree that we have present has some way to grow and evolve with it. And it is going to be something that we just have to go with it. It's something that we have to go with it. So, the opportunity. So we need to just really come and understand. We need to see AI as a tool that's here to help us grow, to remove friction from the process of the creative opportunities that we have at hand, and make us better, make us be able to do our work and our skill and our craft better, and just opening up possibilities for a lot of things. Right now, we're seeing sometimes folks that are working by themselves, literally, and it's crazy, but they're doing things on their own. And they're doing massive things because they're supporting themselves with, yeah, now it doesn't have to be that way, right? And there's a lot of nuance to it and gray areas that have to be worked on. Like I was saying before, there's implications with copyright. I think that as we go forward with things, there's gonna be more regulations around it, but it's not going anywhere. It's something that we need to really try to use and understand and continue growing our skill set and know that there's things that we bring to the table that it doesn't matter, you know, how much up to this point, like I said, but that it's irreplaceable. The way that we can bring vision, the way that we can express taste, the things that we learn through building, through growing, through the projects we're building and working on. The factor of storytelling is huge. These are things that take a lot of work and take a lot of knowing, and this is something that is just not very easy, quickly replicated by any system, because those systems are optimized to create outputs based on the direction of pattern recognition and growth that allows us to, you know, generate output. So now what we need to do is just be really good at discerning and really good at using them. And that gives us, just a little closing thought, which is in a very encapsulated way. Machines can generate us outputs, right? But only us can generate the vision, the meaning, and the culture. Culture is such a big part. Particularly for me, culture is something that really drives things, and these are things that are defined by people, and two and two together, you know, we can really craft and guide and give influence to whatever is going to be the next shapes and things that we do. So with that in mind, I did want to opening up to questions. I don't know if you guys have any questions you'd like to talk about or discuss, but this is all in all very exciting. So you have a variety of systems. Oh, sorry, you have a mic.
I was just going to ask you, what kind of AI systems have you used that you like?
Yeah, so there are a variety of systems that we've used, and they have different types of capabilities. You have leading systems, and they have also different types of encompassing of how much they can reach. There's a little bit of overlap, and like what I was saying earlier holds true. So you have systems, for example, like ChatGPT, most well-known at this time, that is able to touch into many different areas, right? But maybe not with the highest degree of specialty for each, right? But then you have other systems, for example, say Adobe Firefly. Those systems are dedicated to creating specific types of outcomes. So for different types of pipelines and different types of things, you're gonna find that you may have initiatives with companies that are trying to go for a particular sector. Like I know right now there's a big effort to try to do models that will support everything that has to do with the backend systems of, like file-based operations, things of the sort. But ideally, I believe the best way to start is kind of with a maybe more generic amplified system to find what roads or pipelines can help and benefit the things that you're trying to learn from, because they do share a lot of commonalities as to how you work with them, how do you communicate and try to optimize your outputs and flows to try to improve those outcomes.
Okay. Yeah, and then so you mentioned ChatGPT and Firefly. Have you had a chance to check out Claude AI?
Yes, yes. So for example, that one is very highly specialized and utilized particularly for programming, support, and coding, and things of the sort. So, but that one's also broad in the sense it's just how you start finding kind of like the specialties of what groups are utilizing them for more, and they're improving all the time. Yeah. So it's more about, I think, finding the tool that's going to best benefit a particular type of pipeline or thing that you're working towards, and then build through it. There's also another segment, which is for example, enterprise, right? Enterprise is absolutely, in many companies, locked out of using cloud, not as in cloud-based, but cloud models, because the information.
Enterprise like enterprise rental?
When I mean, no. When I mean enterprise, I mean like companies, like large-scale companies that are trying to dive into the concept of AI. And they are not utilizing these public models because they're very particular with the data. So what they're doing is they're installing local LLMs into the machines so that all the information stays contained within the intranet or like the company and nothing leaves. But they're finding that, for example, in that particular use case, they can use LLM systems to, like, for example, read all of the company information. Everything's confidential, contained, but it does help to make sure, for example, an employee can understand what's going on, ask, and sometimes even generate opinions through inter-departments before things can continue moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
No, my pleasure, thank you.
I'm going to ask a question.
Yes.
Victor, so you are a grad here, and you see all these people in the audience. What's your advice for them as they're hearing all of this and processing it? And also, what made you a Hall of Famer?
Okay.
I want to know that, so explain that to them.
So it's been 20 years since I was sitting right there on those seats that you are today, and time goes by. I'll tell you one day. No, one day you guys will be here in this stage talking with the next generation of students. And the piece of advice I want to tell you, and why for me it was so important to share this with you, is that you really have to, like the world out there is extremely competitive, right? And what got us here in the first place is a fierce love for the things that we do, the passion we have to create amazing things. And right now we have the opportunity to be a part of something great that we have the power to make even better, right? So my goal on sharing with you today about everything that's happening is that I really want to, for you guys to open your eyes and fly higher and understand that all of these systems and all of this change, like you are a part of it, and you can shape it and you can grow it, and you have to take it and build from it, so that when you go out there and you're graduated and you mastered all of your classes and your skills, that you go out there and you are very, very ready. And the companies want to work with you, or maybe you go out and you start your own business and do great things, but that you have all the tools that you need to truly be successful out there. And you don't have anyone come above you because they took advantage of something that you didn't see, or worse, that you saw but decided not to take advantage of. You could decide not to do it, And it's going to be fine. You're going to graduate just the same. But it will make a difference. And the world we're heading into is a world that's very unforgiving in many ways. It's very particular, you know, and we need to make sure that we're going out there with our best game. For what? So that we could be at the edge of something that has been, not only me, but even before me, like Full Sail has been capable of creating great graduates and people that have made a very meaningful change in the industries. And you can do that change as well. But you need to be ready. You need to make sure that you are not only at the edge and at the forefront of the technology advancements, but also your craft, not let go of your passions, of the things that brought you here in the first place, but that when you're out there, you're change makers and you're people that made the best of all of these possibilities and made you, you know, be there, like be the cause of change, not be trailing behind it, right? And yeah, for me, and I think one of the reasons of what you're asking before, how I got to this place, is just because of that. I want to be able to give back a little bit of everything I got from here in a way that is beneficial for the crowds that are coming, because you guys are really the next generation of leaders here in the entertainment industry, and that love of coming back and meeting you guys, and I think, you know, eventually you guys will probably be here one day, and yeah, so. Yeah, so, all right.
So, hi, thank you so much for being here.
Hi.
My name is Lucia, and I'm from Spain, and I'm also studying the Entertainment Business Masters. So it's really nice to see someone from the same program. And my question is, so for our final project, we have to create like a company. And mine, I'm doing like a creative pre-production company that uses AI to help like brands with pre-production and events. And the problem that I'm facing now is that I feel I'm creating something that is gonna do the things that I would like to do. So I feel a little bit threatened, like because of I'm creating something that is going to do on its own what I want to do. So sometimes I feel that, is it worth it to create that, or is it better to have those skills for me and not to create something? So what would you recommend, like, for using AI in something we want to create, but at the same time also giving us value as professionals?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, mucho gusto, and second of all, so I graduated from Entertainment Business Masters as well, and for me that was a great opportunity, because you do get to kind of see and encompass all the different ranges that business can offer, and it gives you a very rounded view of that. When it comes down to the system that you're designing and building, I think it's a great idea to do. Why? Because not only does it create a vector of opportunity for you within a huge industry that can potentially help you grow with it, but to the fear you have, I would say no. As we discovered today, yes, you know, like your system will be able to create these outputs and help with scheduling and help with setting up things, but it cannot give it meaning. It cannot give it direction, which is something that only someone who will be the person capable of communicating with it and building all of these processes with it will be able to do. So you're not necessarily replacing anybody here. It's just that the person that, for example, was just the scheduler cannot be just the scheduler anymore. That person has to, yes, know how to build schedules and build the best schedules, but now that person has to also know how to work with these systems so that they can bring value to wherever they're applying that for. So that's where I see that we should really step away from everything that has to do with, no, this is a fear or it's gonna, you know, take away opportunities. No. You have to grow with it and understand that, yes, there's a shift and change, but so was there a shift and change when, you know, like Photoshop came out, when, you know, 3D rendering came out, when along the lines, for that, even with movies, when movies came out, it came as a thing for theater. Through history, through time, we've all encountered these moments. This is a great moment to be a part of, but it should never create fear, but rather the challenge of growth and making something that we're truly passionate about be better. Right?
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Yes.
Hi, Victor. Thanks for being here.
How are you?
No one recognizes me with my hat on.
Uh-huh.
So with the creatives and the media industry and emerging technology, it seems in some cases you kind of have a split board here, right? You have some students and faculty and staff that really want to use AI, and the other that are a little bit leery. What do you think is the most misunderstood aspect of using AI in your daily workflow? Because some people have really adopted it well, while others, believe it or not, still are quite afraid of it. So what do you think's most misunderstood right now?
I think that the biggest misunderstanding with it comes from the fact that right now it's been overwhelming, the amount of AI information that gets thrown our way. There's a lot of fear tied to it, particularly for how she was saying, and the sense of folks being afraid that it's going to in some way replace what they've learned how to do. It's change. Many people do not like change. But the reality here is that if you don't adapt to the change, change is going to happen anyway. So the reality here is that you have to adapt with it, because if not, you really are going to be trailed behind. And history is a great witness to that, that when organizations or folks have been afraid of making changes, they could be leading, but then what you see is that eventually they can't keep up anymore. And they were like leaders at their point, right? So the goal here, I think, first and more than anything, is to really understand that in this moment in time, we are most definitely going through a transitional period where things are changing, and they are actively changing. We see it in the news already. We see how industries are being affected by it, reductions in workforce. Like, there's a lot of adaptation on the government and regulation side. There's a lot of work being happening there as well. But the constant is that change is happening. And as we see change happening, I think that as creatives, as professionals, we have to grow with it and adapt to it. For what? So that we can remain at the forefront. Because it's better to know and be able to guide it and dictate the outcomes that we hope we can achieve than let it pass us by and then you're just unprepared. And it's like, I mean, we've seen it even with programming languages, we've seen it with systems. It's something that now we see it a lot, but when you think back, even certain issues that happen, such as there's a big cloud surrounding, for example, copyright infringement or the way that the models are trained, like, we need to understand that there's a human factor of it, right? It's not the system that's committing infringement, it's the person behind, but that can happen also with someone drawing on a paper. It's really a matter of the factor of the human that's behind the process to create these outcomes, and at the same time, we need to think, like, referentially speaking, the great masters of the past, they learned by learning the arts of the prior one, and that's how things have come to be. It's just that now it's ingrained into a path where it's part of technology, where technologies has been able to amplify and do, and now we can just do more. And the key of distinction is that we, through our taste, through our capabilities as humans, can guide it so that the outcomes and the content that gets put out there can be better.
Hello. Hi. Sorry. So I'm Arthur. I'm a alumni, and I worked in in-house marketing teams for a very long time. And one of the initial issues with AI was prompt engineering and how to talk to it. There is a bit of a learning curve. I mean, anybody can go and make an account for Claude or ChatGPT or any of these other platforms, but learning how to talk to AI has been the biggest issue. Do you have any tips or any advice on how to shorten that learning curve of learning how to talk to the tool, essentially, so that it can give you a better outcome instead of just a random outcome?
Right. Yep. And that's a great question, actually, and it's something really, really important to bring out, because historically and at the beginning, prompting, which is what you're talking about, had to be very specific and built in a certain way. And that is something that as AI companies try to grow and be better adopted by folks, they've come to realize that people don't want to do that, right? I think that the way that people want to communicate with them is through more of a fluid language, and there's a lot of efforts right now in place because there's a lot of layers. When you're using a computer or cloud-based platform, when from your prompt to when it reaches the other point, it goes through very many different layers, with one of which is to try to understand not only what you're writing, but also the context. What do you actually mean with it? So to your question, I think that's something that there's a crossover with it, because prompting is important, but as we're going and advancing through it, it's going through a crossover where companies are trying to improve the way that the systems can analyze it. So hopefully, in the near future, what we're going to find with that is that you can just communicate, and through the addition of context and being able to reference other conversations within the surrounding area, it knows exactly what you're talking about. Today, though, to best improve that, what you're trying to do is you really are trying to keep your request narrow, concise to what it can actually mean. And as you're talking with it or going through that process of generating an output, that you can correct it. Because the first time may not be the best, but maybe you grab what it worked, tell it what it didn't, and try again. And through that, when it did work, let it know as well. So that next time it also knows kind of where to shape the path, because everything is predictive. Everything it does is based on prediction and on what it knows that prediction could represent, right? I know we have an online question. If someone wants to tell me what it was, and then we'll go to your question.
I got your question over here. This comes from Michelle Jones, a digital cinematography upcoming student starting next month. What if you are building from your own local setup? Can we put some kind of copyright or signature in our coding, some type of way, which will be copyrighted when it goes online?
Okay, so to run from your local setup, so there's a couple of things, and again, this is where there's a lot of nuance to what you're generating. But for example, people that are very, very particular with what gets that area, you're creating something new, you want to get supported by AI, you want to compartmentalize, right? Many people, what they're doing is what I was sharing before that's happening in enterprise. You're not using cloud-based systems. They're using something more local. They go ahead and install, for example, there's a LLM called Llama. You may have heard of it. They put it in their system, and they work with it. And the key to be able to create a concept or a property that is okay is that you are able to not necessarily use directly what's been outputted, but use it as part of your pre-production process, so that through that you can create something that's unique, that's yours. You had reference, you build through the reference, and then with what you create, you kind of have it in a separate vector. That's what you do to build on it. Got a question?
Hi, my name is Isabella, and I'm in the live events production degree program here. My question is like I've read some research, and I've seen a lot of stuff like on the internet about how harmful data centers are to their surrounding environments, that they use a lot of water, that it impacts the neighborhoods around them. As someone who wants to stay ahead of the curve and use AI as a helpful tool, what would you say to someone who does want to stay ahead of the curve but is also concerned about the environmental impact that using this technology may have? Like a lot of people protest it by like boycotting it. So that's like my question and concern.
So one of the ways of that, and I mean, the investments are unsurmountable. There's really huge efforts, and they do utilize a lot of like a footprint to be able to run, because they're used by hundreds of millions of people, right? So the best way to do it in the form of being more environment conscious is run it on your machine. And you will see that a big reason of why those systems need so many resources is because they do take a lot of computing power. When you're running in your machine, you see a very big difference of the speed and the level of processing that you have versus when you're using an online system. So that's what I would suggest, and be just more conscious to use it just for the tasks that you wish to use it for. That's what I would say.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Hi, my name's Kennedy Jones. I'm a 3D animation major, and we haven't gone a lot into AI and how we can use it, but I do want to know, like, what's a fine line to stop where AI is a tool and AI is doing, like, all the work, taking, like, the jobs that we're worried about?
I would say that the line is to where you can utilize it as a tool to help you speed up your pre-production process, your part where you're like researching new ideas, getting references, getting inspiration, and then from there incorporate it into your pipeline where you're actually taking that to build something that you've created and go with that. But in any given direction, what you will find is that your production timeframes and your process is going to be vastly sped up just by being able to get that basically pre-production work done much, much quicker.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, do you have any other questions online or here?
I have another question.
Okay, sure.
Are we able to do more than one question? Are we? Okay, thank you. How do you think in like companies, are they looking for people, like for example, myself, I want to be like a creative strategist, marketing, my background is in advertising, so I'm trying to incorporate AI, like doing courses, and here at Full Sail we get LinkedIn Learning, so I'm trying to do that. But how important is for companies to have people who know about AI, or do they hire? Because I'm seeing that they've started hiring AI people, not people from different skills that have also AI skills. So how do you think companies are working with that? Do they want everyone to have AI skills, or are they?
What companies are looking for is people who bring in value, right? And having a particular expertise in a particular field can be very valuable. But that can be much more valuable if that expertise can range to other areas. Because now, what are you? You're a problem solver. You are able to not only shape the outcomes of what they may be looking for, but also help them grow and guide things that they may be seeking. So in my sense, just being able to be more well-rounded, as we spoke before, that yes, you have your capabilities and your skill set in marketing, but you're also well-versed with AI tools. You know how they work, you know how they operate, you know how they can bring value and benefit and use them wisely and ethically and responsibly. I think that's something that can most definitely be really great in the eyes of a company, as someone who can really come and bring in more value to them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Victor.
Hi.
My name is Oscar.
Hi,
I'm
Oscar.
majored in user experience. I have two questions that are related. And do you think personally that as a CEO yourself, that the leaders in the world of AI have done a good job presenting AI to the public, especially for those people who are kind of divided, you know, the ones that are leery about it and those who want to use it?
I think that the current outlook of how things are being shaped up in the public, I think that the current leaders are very focused into not only bringing these systems to the public, but also making them better. There's a really big competition out there right now to have the best system, to have the best platform, and the core focus is that. I think that perhaps they're very aware of some of these polarization things, but they're trying to just build and you know, focus on what their vision and mission. Oh, it's everything? Oh, there we go. I think I turned it off. Sorry. So yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like AI just kind of came 4 years ago. So, and the seniors this year are pretty much the first class that spend their whole entire college career in the age of AI, and it's affected them in different ways. And do you think that the way these leaders have, you know, presented AI, that had an effect on the sort of divide between the people who are really against AI and don't want to get involved with it too much? And is there a place for those people in the creative world?
No, I think in many ways, we're all still in very many different ways still figuring out how things are evolving, and the change is happening really fast. So from that end, you know, you think you know where things the pieces settle in place, and from then on, just kind of go and adapt with it.
Checks out. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one last question.
No, please, yes.
Since you work in the entertainment industry, could you tell us a little bit more about what you do on a day-to-day basis?
Absolutely. So we have a couple of businesses, one of them which is a television network that is broadcasted here in the United States. It's called Nuestra Visión. And it's a Spanish language television network that currently is being distributed here through broadcast, cable, streaming services, and so on and so forth. And on the other hand, we have a company called Radiant Studios as well, which is a creative strategy, production, and marketing company. And through that one, we do get to work with a lot of brands and companies in different industries, which is also something that's been really great because it's allowed us to see how AI is shaping on each one of them. And one of those partners is the AI effort that I mentioned to you guys earlier that has to do with bringing widespread adoption of AI into the enterprise layer of the systems. So I think that the great opportunity with that, especially through the studio part, is that through everything that we do that has to do, we come up with companies and we basically become a branch of their marketing or their whole marketing, and we take care of their digital presence as a whole. So that goes from building their digital media, their digital presence, socials, videos, everything that has to do with how they get perceived in the way that audiences can connect with them when they look for them. They see how things are being evolved and deploying, and hopefully connect with them as part of growing and building their business.
Thank you.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for asking. All right. Anybody else has any questions?
I have a couple from online.
Okay.
We will start with the new one. This comes from a course director, Kira Gondek-Silvia. Sorry, my apologies. What can we, the people that could be hurt by AI in the hands of the selfish billionaires, do to actually get a seat at the table?
Okay, can you repeat that?
I will endeavor to do so.
What
can we, the people that could be hurt by AI in the hands of selfish billionaires, do to actually get a seat at the table?
Oh, gosh. I think that, quite honestly, there's a lot of different motions happening in parallel. And I think that, as I was explaining before, a lot of this is a matter of perspective. And we really do need to understand that there's change that we can directly affect, but there's a lot of things that we cannot. And what's in with us is that for the things that we cannot control, we just need to try and be best prepared for what that could mean for us. Because there's change that, even though we may not directly control, it can definitely affect us, right? So with that in mind, I think as professionals, as creatives, the best we can do is to go with the change and adapt with it so that we can always be at the forefront and improve and be there, whatever the change that we can't control could mean. So that's how I would answer that. And the second question?
This comes from a returning student, Michelle Jones. Do you consider setting up our own AI automation workflow into our pipeline? I am building an AIOS into my pipeline as my foundation for my AI automation.
That sounds complicated.
Complex question.
Like an AI of an AI. Yeah, I think a lot of what's driving the change too, just to that question and how I understand it, I think a lot of it is driven most definitely by innovation and things like what you were asking before, right? Creating new systems and things that could improve, could have, and there could be a definite room in the world for it and an audience for it and a way that it can benefit. So I will say there is a lot of different efforts happening at once to try to get a spot into this whole AI race that we're going through, but there's also a lot of opportunity and places where tools like this could make an actual meaningful, positive change.
One more?
Yeah, let's go.
This is from Kira. We've already seen a huge increase in the breadth of what potential employees are expected to be fluent in with minimal increase in the pay. Do you think AI will increase this disparity?
So I think that it has the potential to do that if the professional does not grow and evolve with it. I think that the more that we can be prepared by, again, being familiarized with the things that are out there, by being able to be well-versed, it doesn't mean that you have to be an expert with it, but be well-versed and not agnostic to it or indifferent to it, is what can really level up that field so that that value that you could bring before is on par to what is expected today and put you in a more competitive positioning. And I think that's it. Okay. Well, I do want to thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope that the presentation was very useful, and let's go do it. Thank you.